Hello, everybody, and welcome to Los Lomas High School for the 2023 version of Battle of the Creek. I'm Anthony Schultz, along with Adam Tarr. Adam, we got a great matchup, a classic matchup here. A couple of teams look like they're going in different directions as far as their schedule goes and as far as where they are in the standings, but maybe not so much of a difference in the amount of talent on either team.
Yeah, this is one of those games where really the records that both teams have going into it does not reflect the type of matchup that we expect to see. Los Lomas 4-0, but they're not a team that's looked infallible so far. They're a team that's had to struggle for some wins, some really close games. And then on the side of Northgate, 0-4, right? But is there a better game on their schedule to get their first win of the season instead of against Los Lomas, at Los Lomas in the Battle of the Creek, as you said, Tony?
Yeah, a couple of close wins for Los Lomas, a couple of close losses for Northgate, so maybe a chance for Northgate to get on track here today. Let's talk about a couple of the players. First, Charlie Kruger for Los Lomas, guy that really does everything, both sides of the line of scrimmage, and also Blaine Ballard, the coach's son, kind of a jack of all trades. He plays a lot of different positions. Yeah,
Charlie Kruger for Los Lomas, one of the best linemen in the league on both sides of the ball. The coaches rave about him. And then Ballard, he's a player that quite literally plays all over the field. He's going to be playing a little bit of quarterback tonight for Northgate, a little bit of wide receiver, maybe a little bit of even kicking. So he's a player who you can expect to hear their name a lot. And, you know, both those players can be really important for both these teams.
Well, the Battle of the Creek is here, the football version, and we'll have it for you right after this on Walnut Creek TV. in burgundy. And the kick is going to go in and out of the end zone. And it'll be a touchback for Las Lomas. So Las Lomas going to get the first possession of the ball game here, coming in at 4-0, and Northgate looking for their first victory, coming in at 0-4.
Yeah, we've talked about it, but again, where are you going to get a better opportunity for your first one of the season, except in your hometown rivalry, playing your rivals. So we'll see how Northgate can fare here. Las Lomas offense, though, getting the first snap of the game.
So here comes Las Lomas. Dylan Thomas at quarterback, number 12. In that shotgun formation, first down and 10. And coming in motion to the near side, Thomas back with time, looking. Now the pocket breaks down, and he goes down. And Northgate gets a cover sack, and that's the way this ball game begins.
Yeah, you see Thomas there, a little bit of hesitation, doesn't get the ball out, and Northgate's going to get the sack.
I give credit to that secondary for the Northgate Broncos. As Dylan Thomas certainly had time and a good field of view, but he could not find anybody open. Dylan Thomas, the sophomore, started last year, actually played 4 games as a freshman, and he started every game so far this season. Lose about 5 yards on that first down sack. Now they're going to try to run up the middle, and nothing there. Swarmed under. Trying to see who got the carry there. Looks like it was number 24. That's Jabron Bevenu. And no gain on that play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long here for Las Lomas.
Yeah, you would expect maybe a long pass play here for the Knights. We'll see if they can protect their quarterback and give him an opportunity to get the ball out of his hands.
Well, if you're
able to do it so far.
Yeah, and if you're the Northgate Broncos, certainly like to maybe dial up a blitz here. Figure you're going to get the pass. See if you can't get a sack or a turnover here on this play. A loss of 1 on that carry. 3rd down and 16. Back to pass. Looking, Thomas, and rolling out to the end, and the ball is incomplete. Out there looking for Mercado. Roman Mercado, number 5, the wide receiver and defensive back. He could not make the catch, and 3 and out for Las Lomas.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Mercado, he is leading the team in receiving yards, not able to make the play there. It looked like the ball could have been thrown a little bit better by Dylan Thomas. But nonetheless, Northgate get the stop, and Las Lomas is going to have to punt this ball.
So minus 6 yards on the first drive here for the Knights, and they will kick it away.
Yeah, talk about kicking off the ball to Las Lomas, getting the stop, and Northgate's going to get this ball back.
Boy, a low kick, end over end, going to hit on the Northgate side of the field, and it's going to take a Las Lomas roll to the 45. The Knights will down it there, and Northgate will get their first possession. 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
Outstanding field position for the Broncos. Almost a perfect start to this game. We'll see if their offense can strike first.
So the nose of the football just short of that 45-yard line, and here comes that Bronco offense. Broncos coached by Ben Ballard. Head coach since 2014. Coached under Justin Lowell before that from 08 to 2013. Back to pass on the first play. Throws caught. 45-40 into Las Lomas territory and down to the 35-yard line. Big play and a first down. And that's the way things start for the Northgate Broncos. And on that catch, number 44, Jake Berger. And he plays all over the place as well. And the first big play of the game goes for the visiting Broncos.
Yeah, there's the quarterback, Boyd, for Northgate. You're going to see a little bit of substitutions when it comes to the quarterback play tonight, but he's leading the team in yards per game when it comes to passing.
And they're going to hand off this time, and big room over that left side. Tackle broken inside the 20. Crowd going wild, and they're going to spot this ball down near the 14-yard line. And a big run there from number 5. That's Ben Hostler, and he's got some pretty good numbers of his own.
Yeah, Hostler, 103 yards per game when it comes to rushing, and you see it right there. Northgate is moving, having success on both sides of the ball.
So Boyd, a 6'4" senior, under center here. A couple of big plays already for the Broncos. They're going to hand off again. Here's Hostler looking for the left side. Cuts it back to the inside, and he's got another good gain. And it looks like he picks up yet another first down, as they're going to mark this one inside the 5 down to about the 3. First down and goal for the Broncos.
Two touchdowns on the season for Hostler. Can he get a third here? We'll see what the Broncos decide to run on first down.
Boy, they had the wide receivers kind of clearing out with the blocks on that left side. Plenty of room for Hostler that time. And now quickly knocking at the door are the Broncos. Here's Blaine Ballard into the ball game. Hand off. Hostler, he's got a man, he's got the room, and he's got a touchdown. Hostler from 3 yards out, and with 9:11 to go and 4 plays in for the Broncos, they lead it 6-0.
Yeah, just as you said, Tony, only on about 4 plays, the Broncos able to march down the field and get their first touchdown. Almost a perfect start.
You couldn't ask for anything better. And look at that right side of the defense. Nobody is there on containment. The blocking is good, the room is there, and the Broncos lead it 6-0.
Yeah, you saw the quarterback Ballard there sub on. 1 play, 1 touchdown with him on the field.
Snap spot, and the kick by LeSueur is good. 9:11 to go here in the first quarter. Both teams have had the ball once, and it's a touchdown for Hostler from 3 yards out and a 55-yard drive for the Broncos, and everything went right on that series for Northgate.
Well, yeah, as we said going into this game, this is not going to be a pushover for the Knights. The Broncos making themselves heard immediately.
When you talk about a perfect start, Adam, for Northgate, you get the 3 and out, you get a sack, you get a negative play in the running game from your defense, and then 4 plays, 1 big pass play, and then the rest runs in there for a touchdown. They got good field position and took advantage of it very easily.
Obviously a lot of the game to go, so a lot of time for Los Lomas to respond, but they got to get something started, and they're going to have the chance to do it right now.
All right, Lucas getting set to kick. He's also the punter. And he's had a perfect season so far in field goal and point after. And boy, look at the boot on that one. Way into the end zone for the touchback. So it'll be another touchback here for the Knights, and they'll get the football here for their second drive, trailing 7-0.
Yeah, we'll see if the Knights can get anything going on offense. A little bit of a 3 and out to start. Northgate certainly hoping they can keep their defense doing well.
So the Knights starting out at their own 20-yard line. Trailing here 7-0 on their second possession of the ball game. And boy, it is a packed house here in Walnut Creek tonight. Rolling right, looks, throws to the sidelines, got a man. And a nice job hauling that in and keeping his feet in bounds. And that was number 3, Landon Gilmore, the wide receiver and defensive back. And that'll be a first down for the Knights.
Yeah, Gilmore averaging about 25 yards per game. First catch of the night for the Knights.
And we saw it a couple of times on that on the first drive with that rollout to the right, kind of clear the pass rush. And probably should have had a catch on that one. And this one, they get the first down yardage here from Gilmore. Let's go, North! It's about a 12-yard pickup for Landon. First down at 10 here for the Knights. 3 wide receiver spread, 2 here to the near side. Handoff up the middle, looking for some room. Churning, keeping the legs going. And now thrown backwards for a loss. That is going to be a loss of a couple of yards. See where they end up spotting it. Maybe right back at the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Left side of that Northgate defense, very stout on that play. And I think they are going to mark it maybe a yard gain, and that's going to be it. So second down and 9 here upcoming for the Knights.
Yeah, besides that one completion, I mean, Northgate has been super solid, whether it's on the run, whether it's in the pass game. They've been doing well, so Los Lomas is going to have to try to do something here. Second down.
Thomas in that familiar shotgun. Quick swing out. here to the near side. Stiff arm there, and trying to break a tackle and getting up near the 40-yard line. Going to leave the Knights a little bit short of that first down, and that is Roman Mercado on a pretty good pickup there. It'll bring up third and very manageable for Las Lomas.
Yeah, we'll see if they go to Mercado again, the leader in receiving yards, or if they're going to try to run it. In this third and short situation, you can kind of do either.
Boy, he used the stiff arm extremely well. Brady Willis tried to come up and make the tackle, and he was put right on the ground by that straight arm from Mercado. Back to pass. Thomas looking, throws. He's got a man at the 40-yard line trying to break a tackle, and that looked like it will get him the first down. It's going to be very, very close.
Yeah, you see a lot of movement from Dylan Thomas early. Able to get another completion on the move.
Boy, and after making that catch was Gilmore, and he did not have the first down initially. Able to fight his way to pick up that first down as he gets to the 42. So they pick up about 3 yards on that play, but it is good enough for a Knights first down, their second of their second possession.
Yeah, expect to see Gilmore, Mercado, and Downs involved in this Knights receiving core. They're going to be making the plays.
Mercado in motion going to the far side. Taking the handoff here is Thomas under some pressure, throws, and he nearly had a man out across the 45 to about the 43, but unable to make the catch there. There was some traffic around, and that was Colby Cooley, the 6'3 junior, and unable to make the grab there, but boy, he had a defender right near him, ready to lay a lick.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas gets hit, gets the ball out, incomplete, second down. See if Las Lomas decides to run or if they go to the passing game again on second down.
We'll bring up second down and 10. And the Knights operating from their own 42, down to 6:42 here in this first quarter. So Dylan Thomas going over there, checking with the brain trust. Dylan, pretty accurate passer, throws well on the run. We've seen that a couple of times. Good with the drop back. And they expect even more for him in the future as he's only a sophomore. Set back behind the quarterback this time. Thomas back to pass. Rolls to his right, throws for the sideline. This one is going to be complete, and they're going to mark this one for first down yardage. And again, that is number 3, Landon Gilmore. So Landon Gilmore has shown up here on this second drive, and it's another first down for the Knights.
Yeah, Mercado certainly stands out on the stat sheet as the star of the receiving core, but you see Gilmore there making a few plays on this drive, getting the Knights across midfield.
So the Knights trailing 7-0, but on the move here. Started this drive at their own 20-yard line. So they moved it about 33 yards, picking up 3 first downs in the process. 2 wide receivers spread to the far side. Thomas now directing traffic. And Mercado coming in motion. Handoff, Bevan out. Can't break a tackle. He's going to pick up maybe 2 yards on the play. And a couple of guys getting off the tackle. One of them is number 7, Jack Kessler, the middle linebacker, and also plays outside linebacker, the 6-foot sophomore, the 6'4 senior, and makes the stop there.
Yeah, Las Lomas likes to get a lot of people involved in the rushing attack. Dylan Thomas himself, the quarterback, often getting out on the move. Paredes, Lagaya, and there you see number 24, Bevanu, able to make a play.
Second down at 7, called a 3-yard gain on that last play. Didn't look like he got 3. Close, here comes Mercado, coming towards us. And the throw looking for Mercado, a little high, he picks it out of the air and gets across the 40 to about the 38 before he's taken down. And boy, that was a great catch by Mercado. The pass was a little bit high. Not only does he make the catch at him, but he's able to turn and make a nice positive play out of that last pass.
Yeah, but it's still third down here. The Knights are going to have to get a first down if they want to keep this drive going, and a little bit out of field goal range, you would think, at about the 38-yard line. We'll see what the Knights elect to do right here.
Third down, call it 2. And now we're going to have a timeout called by Las Lomas. Doug Longero wants to talk it over. A big, important play here Like you said, probably too far for a field goal, but probably too close for a punt. Knowing Doug Longero, if they don't get it here on third down, likely go for it on fourth.
Yeah, I mean, this Los Lomas offense, they've been good this year. They dropped 42 points against Alhambra in a win. Northgate, though, was the first to strike, so definitely a little bit of pressure on the Knights here to see what they can do. And again, potentially fourth down territory.
Good. Daniel Sokol, the kicker, very good. Also a great punter as well. Might even be a better punter than he is a kicker. But they tell me from 45 and in, he can make it, and they'll let him try those.
Yeah, it's certainly a valuable asset to have, especially in high school football.
Very much so.
Gives you a few more options here than you would normally have.
Third down and 2 for Los Lomas. Looking for a quarterback keeper. Up the middle, it's a big play. 25-20, 15-10, touchdown Los Lomas.
That's Dylan Thomas. We said it, he can run, and that's a 38-yard plus touchdown for the Knights, 7-7.
Dylan Thomas, the big run. He was looking for that quarterback keeper the whole way, and the hole was wide open. And just like that, the Los Lomas Knights turned their second possession into a touchdown, and now a PAT from tying the game.
Yeah, well, you feel like if you're Northgate, you maybe expected that with Dylan Thomas and his ability to run the ball, but he just goes right through the gap all the way down the field, gets the touchdown.
Here's Sokol for the point after. Now whistles stop the play here. Now they're having the holder, or the would-be holder, Roman Mercado, coming out of the ball game. And now Dylan Thomas will come in and do the holding. So a bit of a rough start for Los Lomas, but that second offensive possession made up for that. They end up going 80 yards for the touchdown. And high snap, spot, kick is good. And with 4:29 to go here in the opening quarter in the 2023 Battle of the Creek, we are all tied at 7.
Yeah, Hostler for the Broncos and Thomas for the Knights, both getting a touchdown. And it feels like the pressure shifts a little bit back towards the Broncos in a game where they are certainly the underdogs. They're going to have a chance to score, though, again. So we'll see if the Los Lomas defense can improve after letting the Broncos march down the field last time. But you would think with the momentum of their offense, they might be able to do a little better here.
You know, it should be a little more fired up now, but Los Lomas able to move that one 80 yards and a 38-yard touchdown run for Dylan Thomas, the quarterback. And well, you look at the stats, and right away you know he can run the football, so that shouldn't have come as a surprise to Northgate. But boy, the blocking just opened up a huge hole in the middle, and he was running downhill from the moment he started toward this line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's Thomas's 4th rushing touchdown on the year for a quarterback.
And here's a kick, and be taken and fumbled in the end zone, and they're going to rule that a touchback. And boy, I thought he had caught that ball actually in the field of play, which would make that a live football going into the end zone, but the officials think different, and it's going to be a touchback for Northgate, and they will get their second possession of the game. They'll start from their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, we'll see who the Broncos elect to start with or at quarterback on this drive. Will it be Boyd? Will it be Ballard?
Here comes that Bronco offense. Certainly looking good on that first possession. And 55 yards for the touchdown. Davika Boyd under center, going to hand off, looking to go right up the middle. Tackle broken, and this is one he's going to get out across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. So a nice run there on first down for the Broncos. Ben Hostler again. It'll bring up second down at 5.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Northgate get stops right on first and second down in that rush game, but the Knights have not been able to do that so far. We'll see if they can do it on this drive at all, or will Northgate just march back down the field? We'll certainly see here, second down.
They've only run a handful of plays so far, Adam, but all very positive plays for the Northgate offense. Hostler going to line up behind the quarterback, Kavika, in that pistol formation. Boyd's got it. Hostler's got it. He fakes it to him. Boyd's going to keep it. Left side, he's going to turn the corner, picks up a block, gets to the outside, and gets across the 40, then finally banged out of bounds there, but not before he picks up a Northgate first down.
Yeah, I actually think that was Ballard. Again, another one of those quarterbacks who can move the ball with their feet, and that certainly makes this game more entertaining. We just saw Thomas with the touchdown. There we see Ballard with the first down.
Yeah, good call there. Get my quarterbacks mixed up. I know they're going to be changing that spot quite a bit. And the one guy who can run from that position is Ballard. And boy, he showed it right there. Big gain and another first down for the Northgate Broncos.
Yeah, funnily enough, Ballard also leading the receiving stats for this team. I mean, he really does it all. And Northgate, I mean, they love relying on him, as you see there.
So about 17 yards on that scamper for Ballard. And he's back in there with quarterback with Hostler flanked to his left. 3 wide receiver spread, make it a 4 wide receiver spread, trips to the near side. Ballard going to hand off. Hostler going to try to turn the corner and not going to be able to get out of the backfield. First man to greet him, number 50, Troy Sakira, defensive tackle and also a guard. The 5'11", 195-pound junior makes the tackle with a little bit of help from his friends.
Yeah, you would think with the way this game's going for Northgate on the ground that they maybe take a shot here. We'll see. If they keep Ballard in the game, might stay on the ground. Boyd's their main person when it comes to being able to throw that ball deep.
Well, Sakira definitely got some help from his friend, and his friend was Charlie Kruger, who he highlighted. Able to box in Hostler that time. And Boyd throws, tipped and nearly caught. Unable to pull it out of the air for the Broncos was number 3, Bo Molinelli. And Boyd, that would have been a touchdown had that ball been a little bit shorter.
Yeah, you see that rotation of quarterbacks again, though. Boyd just suddenly in the game after Ballard with the first down. So there's going to be a lot of movement on that position tonight. We'll continue to see it.
So a 2-yard loss on first down, incomplete on second down. And now 3rd down and 12 here for Northgate. Boyd throws, far sidelines, got a man named catch, and that is going to be a first down. And on that catch is number 44, Jake Berger. He's made a couple of catches tonight, and that's a big one. 3rd and 12, they turn it in to a first down catch.
Yeah, makes the catch, then turns, gets the first down. It's a good move.
Well, you saw Boyd that time able to roll to his left, away from his throwing hands, a right-handed thrower, and still make an accurate pass to the sideline. Boyd in at quarterback, under center. First down and 10 inside of Las Lomas territory. Hostler looking for some room, picks up a couple, not much more. A couple of guys getting off the pile, including number 51, and that is Chase Martin.
Yeah, it's going to be
and a defensive lineman.
Yeah, it's going to be important for Las Lomas to establish themselves on the defensive line and force Northgate to start throwing the ball a little bit more. If they want to achieve that balance defensively. They haven't been able to stop this offense, though, so far. That's the first play where you really see them able to hold up the run game.
So they got one play for -2 yards. They got this play for a gain of 2 yards. But every other play has been very positive for the Northgate Broncos. From the 41, this is Hostler again, trying to see what it is. And he is not going to get much there, and driven back.
It's 3rd down now for the Broncos, a crucial point for the Knights. They just gave up a 3rd and long. This one's a little bit more attainable for the Broncos. We'll see who they elect to have at quarterback here. Looks like Ballard is on the field, but maybe as a receiver for this play. Looks like they're going to go for Boyd.
And Troy Sakura made another nice play, number 50. Here comes 3rd down and 7 from about the 40-yard line of the Knights. Back to pass. Boyd looking. Now he's going to scramble to the right. Being chased. Sakura's got him, and he sacks him. A big loss on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Oh, Troy's having himself a big night already. 3 big plays, and finally they get the Broncos stopped.
That's going to be important as you go on with this game, the Broncos are going to be thinking about these sacks, and it's going to change how they approach their offense.
Boy, and that is a second time that Troy Secura has been able to keep containment on that outside edge, force the runner back inside, and then make the tackle himself.
Yeah, I thought Boyd had a little bit of time there to get that ball out, but I guess the Knights secondary had everyone covered downfield, and there's the sack.
All right, LeSueur, we told you what a good punter he is. He's going to kick this one from about the 45-yard line. Hangs it up, end over end, coming up to make a fair catch, and then dropping the football, it's loose. Scramble for it inside the 20. First down for Northgate. So the first big mistakes comes on special teams. It's a fumbled punt, and just like that, Northgate going to get the ball again in great shape inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line of the Knights.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Langero earlier this week, and he said the Knights need to make fewer mistakes. That's one of the reasons they've had close games. And there you see maybe one of the bigger mistakes you can make in football, which is not return a punt and give the ball right back to Northgate, almost like a 40-yard pass down the field. First down, Northgate.
So Northgate gets the ball back here after the fumble, and they have it at the 18-yard line of Las Lomas. And on that recovery was Austin McInerney, and wide receiver, inside linebacker, fullback. So many of these guys do so many things for these teams, but he was the one who came up with the recovery. So it's the Knights making the first big mistake here of this game, and let's see now if Northgate can capitalize.
Yeah, you mentioned the versatility of some of these players in high school football. It almost makes you think of Travis Hunter in college football, playing wide receiver and defense, one of the best players in both positions.
Well, actually, Adam, it didn't make me think of that, but thank you. You're the college football guy. So.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this young man. Thank you, though.
Yeah. Yeah, Travis Hunter doing some things out at Colorado. But we're here in Walnut Creek tonight, so let's focus on these guys.
So that's the end of the quarter. Second quarter action getting set to start here in just a moment. And boy, look at that contingent over there for Northgate. They came prepared to cheer.
Yeah, it's what you'd expect in the Battle of the Creek, and they've got to be happy with what they've seen so far. 7-7 as we start this quarter, in a perfect position to get their second score of the game.
All right, Kavika Boyd under center as the Broncos start this next drive. Swing it out, left side, cuts it back inside, finding some room, taking on some tacklers, and getting pretty close to the 15-yard line. See where they're going to mark that, call out about a gain of 4 yards. There for number 5, Ben Hostler, who's been the workhorse here tonight and through a lot of the season for the Northgate running attack.
Yeah, again, 103 yards per game. He's the one with the touchdown for the Broncos already today. We'll see if he gets the ball again here.
Well, they actually only marked that as a 1-yard gain. I thought he had picked up a few more. It was a short gain there on first down, bringing up second down and 9. Broncos looking over toward their sideline. Boyd barking out the signals. Kavika back with time, throws, wobbly pass up high. Looked like it was intended for number 2, R.J. Anderson, but incomplete, well over his head.
Yeah, third down now. If you're Northgate, you'd be disappointed to not at least get one first down after that fumble. We'll see if they can do it here. Third and long.
Third down and call it 9 here for the Northgate Broncos. Just beginning the second quarter of action here from the 2023 Battle of the Creek right here on Walnut Creek TV. Big third down play coming up here, and now whistles blow to stop this, and it's going to be a timeout. Northgate wants to talk it over. 11:51 to go in the second, all tied at 7, but it's Northgate on the Las Lomas side of the field.
Yeah, you definitely have to appreciate, if you're a Las Lomas fan, the tightening up of their defense, forcing another third down. They've just got to get the ball back to their offense. I mean, they've had some good plays, but their offense has not snapped the ball on over 2 sets, 3-4 sets. So they're going to try to get the ball back for their offense here. Northgate, though, into field goal range. Does that change your approach here on third down?
Yeah, I would think so. With the guy they got, Daniel Sokol, knowing what kind of year he's had, he certainly could make this. It gives the coach Ben Ballard that option. If we don't get it, and it's kind of a long yardage situation, we might as well take the 3. Pretty sure that we're going to get it. But first things first, let's see what they do on third down. Third down and 9 here for Northgate. Taking a long time to get this next play off. All right, now they're ready. Boyd back, quick drops, quick screen, throws it out to the far side and hit and stopped on the play. And that looked like our guy again, Troy Sakura, making the play. On the catch was number 44, Jake Berger, but not a whole lot of room. This looks like it's going to be a field goal situation here for Sokol.
Didn't look too aggressive from the Broncos. They're just throwing it a little bit out behind the line of scrimmage. Not able to get much, and yep, here's the field goal attempt for the Broncos.
Now Berger going to spot this at the 23-yard line to make this a 33-yard attempt here for Sokol to try to give Northgate the lead back. 33-yard attempt, snap, hold, kick is good. And from 33 yards away, the Northgate Broncos get the field goal to take a 10-7 lead, but give some credit to the Los Lomas defense. They get the stop, they force the punt, they get the fumble, the recovery by Northgate, but Northgate has to settle for 3.
Yeah, again, it is interesting to see. I mean, Los Lomas 4-0 going into this game, 0-4 on the Northgate end, but we've got a really close one, and it hasn't looked like either team has dominated too much so far. Northgate maybe even has played a little bit better, making less mistakes, able to score on relatively a good amount of their drives. Getting 3 from the turnover there, and they're going to kick it back off to the Knights. So can the special teams recover? You would think so, but we'll see.
But after the fumble, the Northgate offense set up at the 18-yard line of Los Lomas and barely gained 1 yard and had to settle for 3. 10-7 in favor of Northgate, and they kick off. This one might be returnable here, and going back into the end zone, that will be a touchback. So Sokol doesn't give you too many chances to return his kicks, and again, starting from their own 20-yard line will be the Los Lomas offense.
So Dylan Thomas, really the biggest play of the game for the Knights so far with that 30-plus yard touchdown. We'll see if they can get a little bit more consistency going and really start establishing themselves on offense.
Well, and here is a look at the crowd on the Los Lomas side, and it is packed to the rafters. And I can attest to the parking being very difficult. Matt had to let me into the gate. I got preferred parking tonight, Adam.
Yeah, I didn't park at Los Lomas. I knew it was going to be a mess, but it's all good.
All right, the Knights starting this drive from their own 20-yard line. 11:03 to go here in the first half from Los Lomas. Rolling out, throws, and he's got a man kind of behind the intended receiver. Thomas's pass was a little bit to the inside, and unable to make the catch was Landon Gilmore. Probably one he should have had anyway.
Yeah, well, Gilmore's made some plays tonight, but you've also seen Thomas throw some pretty good balls on the move, and his receiver's not able to make the play. You're going to have to catch those balls if you want to start establishing yourself on offense. Second down now.
Yeah, I'm sure on the Los Lomas side, when they're listing drops and catches, they'll probably list that one as a drop. All right, second down and 10 here for the Knights. Thomas doing that same. And low snap, able to handle it, and this one is caught by Gilmore, coming back for the ball, and he's going to get up to about the 25-yard line. Hit and drop there. Coming up to make that quick tackle was number 23's James Macy, and Macy able to make the stop after the 5-yard gain. But on second and 10, you'll give up that 5-yard gain if you're the Bronco defense. Here's another look.
Yeah, give credit to Gilmore. I mean, he's getting open, making the catch there, but he's getting targeted for Los Lomas so far, so we'll see what happens on third down. Definitely a manageable distance.
No, I think he's going to mark this past the 25 to about the 27. So that ends up being a 7-yard gain and brings up third down and 3. And timeout on the field. And the Knights want to talk this over. This turns into a very big play here Because if Las Lomas is not able to pick up any more yardage following the punt, you would figure that Northgate's going to get good field position again.
Yeah, we'll talk about getting the ball back at halftime, too, for the Broncos. So it kind of gets into the tactical battle that is football. Broncos can start building a lead if they get this ball back.
Doug Longero in his second stint as the head coach here for the Knights. His second stint started in 2017. He was at DVC from 13 to 16, and they had the top offense in the state for a couple of years. And, of course, preceding that, he was here for a very, very long time, and they had a ton of success here in Las Lomas with him at the helm. All right, 3rd down and 3. Upcoming here for the Knights. Right about their own 27-yard line. Hand right up the middle, and this is going to be out enough for a first down. And on the carry, looked like that was Caden Lagaya picking up that first down, and that was a very important first down indeed for Las Lomas as they keep the drive alive.
Yeah, as we said, Las Lomas likes to make it up in the running game there. You see Lagaya making a play, and the Knights able to move the ball.
So the Knights able to pick up that first down and keep this drive going. Split backs behind Thomas this time. That's the first time we've seen that alignment. And the player's very close to the line of scrimmage this time. Man in motion coming to the near side. Thomas back, fakes, throws, got a man, and picking up a few yards. Trio of defenders out there to get Lagaya. And Lagaya is going to pick up just a short gain, about 2 yards. We'll call it 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, well, you'll take it if you're Las Lomas on first down to be able to get a completion and move the ball a little bit closer to that first down marker. That's how you start getting in a rhythm.
But a trio of defenders right around that for the Broncos, including number 22, Brady Willis. So they had that pass play sniffed out pretty well. And it's a short gain for the Knights. 2nd down and 8 upcoming here for Las Lomas.
Yeah, they've opened up this game a little bit more on the Las Lomas side. Northgate very solid at the beginning of the game on defense. Here's a pass by Thomas.
Thomas, and off the hands of the intended receiver. That was Landon Gilmore. Had his hands on it, had a defender right in his back pocket, but still a pass that normally you would think he would catch.
Yeah, a few drops for the Knights so far, and I mean, it's another 3rd down, so just hurting yourself a little bit if you're the Knights. But let's see if they can get this 3rd down. Let's see what they run on this 3rd down. If they're going to get another pass like that, they've got to grab it if they're going to get a first down.
Yeah, looked like that little slant play coming to the inside. And Gilmore looked like he had a step on the defender and just couldn't haul in the pass. But it looked like that time he was going to have some room to run had he hauled it in.
Yeah, we've seen a few of those plays for both teams so far where a catch would have resulted in major yardage. Here's 3rd down for Las Lomas.
3rd down and 7. Back to pass. Thomas setting up a little screen pass. He's got blockers out in front. But how about that tackle to hold the play short of a first down? Oh, what a play there. It looked like I'm seeing number 52. Tanasi Polizos, P-O-L-Y-Z-O-S. Tanasi Polizos making the play. Let's take another look. There's the catch being made, and coming right through the blockers is Polinos to make the play, and that's going to bring up 4th down, and the Knights are going to punt.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that screen call. It feels like getting a little hesitant about throwing the ball further down the field. And now Northgate's going to get this ball back, and they're going to have a chance to score as we approach the midway point of this 2nd quarter.
Low end-over-end kick. It's going to take a Las Lomas bounce, roll inside the 30, and be killed at about the 27-yard line. So 1st down and 10 upcoming for the Northgate Broncos from their own 27-yard line with 8:03 to go in the first half.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we've seen some tension on these special team plays. We saw that fumble recovered by the Broncos, and there the ball just taking a few bounces, getting the crowd excited to see what happens. But the Broncos ultimately will get the ball. 8 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. They're going to be looking to build a lead here.
Well, they're going to spot this ball actually at him at the 30-yard line and going to give a couple extra yards here to Northgate. I think they thought one of the gunners for the Knights touched that ball before it was finished rolling. So in any event, a couple of yards pickup, not much of a difference, but still 1st and 10 for the Northgate Broncos. And the last couple of possessions for Northgate kind of forced a punt, held to a field goal, so maybe the Knight defense is getting something going here. Handoff Hostler right up the middle, and he is going to bang forward up to about the 39-yard line. That's going to be good for about 8, maybe 9 yards. It'll bring up second and short.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those trends in football where once you get into the red zone, it can be a little tougher to move that ball. And, I mean, here you see in space, Northgate again is able to have a little bit of success on offense. We'll see if they can keep that going.
So Hostler with a nice run right up the middle. The offensive line doing a good job creating some space for him. And it's a fine pickup on first down. It'll bring up second down and short. And, you know, getting closer here to the 40-yard line. And a good down and distance situation. Let's see maybe if Northgate takes a chance and tries to get the ball down the field here. And the Broncos, they're going to talk it over as they take timeout. 7:17 to go here in the first half. 10-7 Northgate.
Yeah, we've seen multiple timeouts collectively by both these teams so far. It's a big game, big crowd. Definitely feeling the nerves if you're the players, but it's definitely one of those games where you're also going to bring as much willpower as possible to try to beat your crosstown rival.
So Ben Ballard and his staff talking it over right now. Ben has been the head coach out here since 2014. Told you he coached under Justin Lowell from 08 to 13. He coached in Southern California at MLK High in Riverside with Justin Lowell and a coach named Darren Owens. Darren Owens got the job here at Northgate in 07, left in 08. That's when Lowell took over. Ballard, of course, was with him, and he's been the head coach here for quite a while. And they've had some better seasons of late. For the most part, though, during the Longero era, both stints, the Los Lomas Knights have pretty much dominated this rivalry.
That's second down for Northgate here.
All right, operating from their own 39-yard line. Davika Boyd in the ball game. Under center, going to fake the handoff, and under pressure, hit as he throws. Ball is up in the air, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. Boy, and look who was right around the ball, and I thought Troy was going to have a chance to intercept that and maybe some running room for him as well.
Yeah, well, it looked like Boyd was able to get his arm moving forward, as you can see there, but we'll see on the replay, as you can see.
Trying to pick up who made the tackle there, who got the hit. See if we can see it this time. I'm not sure, but that might have been 56 Charlie Kruger. In any event, it's a big play for the Los Lomas defense. On the second down and short, it's going to bring up third down and short. But Boyd had to pick himself off the turf after that last play.
Yeah, 4 receivers out wide for the Broncos on this third down.
Third down and 1, and looks like they got Northgate to jump. Jumping across the line. Was he drawn off or did he jump? And it is going to go against Los Lomas, and boy, that is going to be a first down.
Yeah, looks like that was Charlie Kruger, one of the leaders of this team, making a little bit of a mistake there. And it's a first down for Northgate.
Yes,
and they'll take that.
Yeah, they will. So instead of third and short, they get the first down for free. And sometimes that hard count gets guys to jump, and Kruger did that time. So the penalty moves the ball out to the 44-yard line, making it first down to 10 here for Northgate. Berger going in motion across the formation. And handoff over the left side, plenty of room across the 50, into Knights territory to the 45, and down close to the 41-yard line. That's going to be a 14 yards and a first down, and that turns out to a very good play. Ben Hostler with another run, and plenty of room off tackle on the left side.
Yeah, Hostler averaging about 5 yards per play, and you can see it there. I mean, that's a 10-yard gain, and he's been all over this game for the Broncos. He has their touchdown, and they're going to keep relying on him. Los Lomas has got to do something.
And Brandon Johnson, the guard, number 50, got a beautiful kick-out block to help set that one up. So good blocking up front. Hostler able to take advantage. First down and 10 now into Knights territory. Hostler's going to get it. Tries the right side this time and able to churn up to the 35-yard line. Let's see where they're going to mark it. That's going to be another pretty good game there on first down. And Ben Hostler getting something going here with the running game.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for Ballard at quarterback right now. Again, that switching at that quarterback position that we've seen from the Broncos. We'll see if that opens up any other types of plays for them, maybe a potential quarterback run.
So a 5-yard gain for Hostler on first down. As you said, Ballard now at quarterback here. 3 wide receiver spread, make it a 4 wide receiver spread. Fakes the pitch, and he's going to run, picks up a block, and he picks up a first down as he gets inside the 30 down to the 29.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, having 2 quarterbacks, sometimes it can seem counterintuitive to trying to establish a really good offense, but then you have Ballard there just able to get that 5-yard gain and get a first down for the Broncos in the territory of Los Lomas, where they haven't been able to move the ball as much. But they're going to get a first down there, and they're going to have opportunities to move the ball forward.
Well, Kavika Boyd was starting earlier in the year. He got banged up in the TAM game. And then, since he's come back, Blaine has been kind of switching out. Blaine's the guy with more athletic ability and the better ability to run, and Boyd more of the pocket guy.
Yeah, as we said, Ballard, one of the team leaders in both rushing and receiving. So being able to play quarterback, too, is a huge asset for them.
Oh, boy, a little pitch here on that jet sweep, looking for some room. Breaking tackle, still on his feet, and now finally corralled. And on the run, R.J. Anderson coming in motion and then taking that pitch. So that is actually a pass play, but the Knights stood up to that one pretty well. And not a great game on it. Let's take another look.
Yeah, all over the field there. I mean, at the end of the play, ends up near midfield, just walking it off. Looks like they're going to get a little bit of a gain there, though. And it's a second down opportunity in Knights territory. Is this where we could see a shot? You would think Boyd would be at quarterback for a potential shot. Looks like Ballard is still going to be leading the way, though, for Northgate right now. Let's see what they do.
All right, Blaine in at quarterback. Just a couple of yard gain for Anderson on that last play. Pretty fancy, but it looked like Los Lobos was ready for it. Second down and 8. And now it looks like the Broncos want to talk it over as they call timeout. Timeout here with 4:13 to go here in this first half. 10-7 Northgate with the Broncos on the move.
Yeah, I think that's 2 timeouts for both teams so far, both taking advantage of the opportunity to get a break in a game that's very close, very tense so far. You have to think that Los Lomas really wants to have good tackling. We've seen Hostler for the Broncos able to break some tackles. And on a second down, you really don't want to miss tackles and allow them to get a first down. The Knights are going to have to try to improve when it comes to that. And Northgate coming back out on the field.
Well, the last couple of games for the Broncos, Adam, they've been using this multiple quarterback situation. Look like they're getting some pretty good mileage out of it here this evening. But kind of had to go to it because of the injury early on to Boyd. But, hey, if it starts working, why not stick with it? Boyd in at quarterback, handoff, Hostler picking his way through the line, breaks to the outside, tries to turn the corner, cuts it back inside, still on his feet, fighting for more yardage, picks up a big gain and another first down for Northgate.
Yeah, well, you see Hostler just bouncing off the Los Lomas players and getting inside, I think inside the 10-yard line there.
Look at Hostler go, breaks to the outside, cuts it back to the inside there, able to pull away from a tackler and just stay on his feet. A lot of guys had a shot at him, couldn't bring him down.
Yeah, Northgate fans are loud. It's nice to see students from across Walnut Creek all here together tonight watching some good football. It's great that we're seeing a good game so far.
And a big gain on that play. Line of scrimmage now, the 9-yard line. About a 20-yard pickup on that last carry. Trying the left side here. Gets inside the 10. That's Hostler again. They get him for a shorter gain this time. It'll bring up second down and goal here for the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, I think when you get closer to the goal line, it can be a little hard to move the ball, especially on the ground, and that's really where Northgate's been the most successful so far. Can they finish off this play? Last time, only able to get a field goal when in the red zone of Los Lomas.
So a 19-yard run by Hostler. Now a 3-yard run by Hostler. Bring up second down and goal here for Northgate, trying to break on top with a 2-possession lead here to end this first half. Up the middle, Hostler tries to break out, breaks the tackle, still on his feet, he gets to the end zone, touchdown Northgate!
Yeah, there are the Northgate fans excited about that again, breaking tackles, getting inside. It's 16-7 now, an opportunity to make it 17-7.
Ben Hostler from 7 yards out gets into the end zone. Touchdown Northgate. That's a 70-yard drive. And Hostler a couple of big runs, and he finishes it off with a touchdown.
Yeah, Northgate, I mean, with this extra point, a chance to get their 17th point of the half. It's very solid.
Snap, spot, kick is good. Knocked through by LeSueur. And with 2:50 to go here in the first half, 17-7 Broncos.
Yeah, and important to note, again, Northgate will be receiving that second half kickoff, a 10-point lead already. This might be one of the most important drives of the game for the Knights, certainly the most important one so far. Let's see if their special teams can get the ball, keep the ball in their hands this time.
Well, you saw that last run there, and there was at least 3 guys that had a chance to make the tackle before Hostler was to get into the end zone, but a couple more broken tackles, and right now Hostler in that running game is looking pretty devastating here for Northgate, at least here in the first half.
Yeah, it seems like Los Lomas getting the stop inside their own red zone, holding Northgate to a field goal earlier was going to translate to a little bit of defensive momentum, but there Northgate able to march down the field and get the touchdown. So we'll see if the Knights offense can respond. We'll see if they can make fewer mistakes and really start to get some consistency going.
Well, they got plenty of time to start a drive, but with LeSueur kicking, you got to figure they're starting at the 20. Here's Lucas on the approach, bangs this one. High end-over-end kick, and that will be in the end zone. Another touchback from Lucas LeSueur and Las Lomas, and starting again from their 20-yard line, a long way to go for the Knights.
And Northgate's certainly been winning the position, or the field position battle tonight. Had that ball at the Los Lomas 18, and they keep forcing them deep in their territory to start drives.
So we were talking about it early, Adam, with the 4-0 Knights against the 0-4 Broncos, and we were saying, well, maybe the talent level not that much different, even though the results so far this season very different, and that's proving to be true here in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, I think going into this, everybody knew it was going to be at least a tough game. Both teams are going to play very physically.
Dylan Thomas barking out the signals. Waving some of his guys in motion here. Thomas back, rolling toward the near side. Thomas throwing on the run, fires downfield, incomplete. Out there looking for number 5, Roman Mercado, but well covered. They have the quarterback and the safety right there on the play for the Knights.
Yeah, solid coverage downfield by Northgate. Thomas overthrows it a little bit. Probably would have been a tough one to bring in for Mercado nonetheless. Second down, though. You see them go for a shot on first down. They definitely feel like they need to get some points here. But a 3 and out, I mean, imagine giving the ball back to Northgate. I know it's only second down. Let's see what the Knights do. But just keep that in mind. Could Northgate potentially have another opportunity to score? The Knights are going to hope to keep the ball out of their hands and get points to themselves.
Thomas in that shotgun. 4 wide receiver spread. Everybody close to the formation this time. Thomas back. Under pressure, hit and sacked. Thomas going down. Another sack for Northgate. And this time on the play is Jack Klessler, the linebacker. He gets the sack. 3rd down and long now upcoming for Las Lomas.
Yeah, well, what do you do if you're Las Lomas? Do you run this ball, keep the clock moving, or do you try to get the first down? And that is a dilemma, especially considering Northgate only has 1 more timeout left.
Well, they're going to get some time here, and with where they are on the field, you figure following a punt on that exchange, you'd figure Northgate is going to get good field position. And now Las Lomas going to take a timeout. They want to talk it over. 2:11 to go. 3rd down and 18 upcoming for Las Lomas, and they trail it by 10.
Again, talk about the importance of having a good kicker and being able to force Las Lomas. I mean, they're inside their own 20 right now. And again, as you said, if they punt this ball, Northgate's probably going to be getting that around midfield. And they're going to have time to move down the field if they do indeed get it back. It's going to be interesting to see what Las Lomas does. They're talking it over right now. What does Doug Longero opt to do on 3rd and long?
Yeah, not a lot of good plays in the playbook for 3rd down and 18 following that Kessler sack. -8 yards on the play for Las Lomas. And boy, the Broncos came to play here tonight, looking really good in this first half. 3rd down and 18, and that shotgun formation again here for Dylan Thomas. Dylan back, rolling to his right, to his left this time. Throws for the sideline, it's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it over there to number 5, Roman Mercado, but well covered. And on the play defensively for the Broncos, looked like it was Trevor Staff, number 13, the cornerback.
Yeah, and Las Lomas trying to get the first down there, getting the ball relatively close, but...
And not only that, but that's a free timeout for the Northgate Broncos with the incomplete pass. And let's look and see where the Knights are going to be punting from here.
Yeah, punter for Las Lomas. I mean, he's got his feet at the end zone.
He's going to be punting from about the 3, maybe the 5-yard line. Kicks this one, and its catch is going to be made, and a hit and dropped immediately. But out across the 45 to about the 44. And taking that one for the Broncos. That's going to be number 1, the wide receiver and cornerback, Rhea Sabsavari. And looked like he was trying to get a return out of that. And with a couple of defenders right there, very fortunate he didn't cough up the ball.
Yeah, well, you know what, Tony? On offense, it's a lot easier to score when you're getting the ball inside of your opponent's 50-yard line multiple times a game. And for Northgate, a team, again, that's 0-4, I mean, having field position like this, it's absolutely crucial to be able to play a good game.
So Northgate operating from their own 43-yard line here, or rather from the Las Lomas 43. And a chance to score again here before halftime with 1:56 to go. Plenty of time here on this drive. Hostler going to get it, tries to bounce at the outside, trying to turn the corner, cuts it back inside, and Hostler going to get down to about the 41-yard line of Las Lomas.
Yeah, I really think it's going to be tough for Las Lomas to stop Northgate from scoring if they can't stop Hostler on the ground.
Looks like we have an injury here, an injured Knight on the play. I'm not sure if that was a tackler or not, but they're going to tend to him. We've got an injury timeout here at Las Lomas in the 2023 Battle of the Creek, 17-7, Northgate. Boy, that's Troy Sakura getting up. Looks like he's walking off under his own power. Certainly hope he can re-enter the game. Have to come out for at least one play. But, boy, Troy's having a really big game. And right now that Las Lomas defense can ill afford to lose the talents of him.
Yeah, Sakura there getting hurt. We saw him earlier making some good defensive plays. Really on one of the only sets and drives where Las Lomas has been solid on defense.
Here's Boyd. Rolls, throws, deep down the field. This one is going to be knocked away and incomplete. Number 3 there defensively, Landon Gilmore. And it looked like the intended wide receiver was number 10. And that, of course, is Blaine Ballard. And well covered down the field. You saw the 2 defenders right there with Ballard in the end zone.
Yeah, you can't blame Northgate there for saying, why not take a shot to the end zone? They're up 17-7. They've got time, but now a 3rd down, so they definitely got to get a 1st down here if they want points.
3rd down at 4. Boyd, hands off. Hostler kicks it to the outside. He's got room. Hostler racing down the field inside the 20, 10, inside the 5. Touchdown, Northgate. On a 3rd and 4 from 37 yards out, Hostler is in the end zone again.
Yeah, Tony, that's Hostler's 3rd touchdown of the half. Talk about stars coming to play. Northgate, 23-7, a chance to go up 24-7, and again, reminder that they will be getting the ball after halftime.
Boy, Las Lomas thinking they were going to have a chance to get a stop. Instead, they give up another big play to Ben Hostler, who's been the star of the game so far. Snap, hold, kick, it's good. And with 1:20 to go here in the first half, it's the Broncos up 24-7 on the home team Knights.
Yeah, Tony, I can tell you, we're sitting across the field from the Northgate student section, but they are bouncing and they are excited on homecoming weekend that their team's up 24-7. Las Lomas is certainly going to have chances to come back, but right here, 1:20, we just saw them give the ball back to Northgate. Northgate march down the field, Hostler get a touchdown, Los Lomas is not only going to have to protect the ball here, but they're really going to have to try to get at least some points. And there's the touchdown again from Hostler, breaking tackles. Again, his third of the half.
Boy, and the left side of that Northgate line really making it tough for the Los Lomas defense. Made it very soft over there. And again, Hostler getting the ball here, Adam, on a couple of occasions, running downhill immediately, and that means he's got room to run. So Hostler with 3 touchdown runs, one of 3 yards, one of 7 yards, and another of 37 yards. And here is the kick, and this one going to be in and out of the end zone. Another touchback for Los Lomas. And Los Lomas with just a minute and 20 here to operate and no timeouts here before the end of the half. And then we look at the sideline over there of the Northgate Broncos.
24 points in the half for Northgate. That is impressive. Los Lomas is hoping that they can get some points here, but again, they got to protect the ball. They haven't done the greatest job of doing that so far. Let's see if they can get something going here offensively with Dylan Thomas as the quarterback once again.
Well, they know they got a good kicker in Sokol, but they need to get the ball inside the 30-yard line of Northgate to give him a chance. So they need about 50 yards, or maybe a little bit more, for a field goal. And they get the ball on the outside 30, running up to their 35, hit and knocked out of bounds. And there was Ballard there to knock him down, a violent collision over there on the far side. But that is Colby Cooley with a nice play, and that will be a first down for Los Lomas and getting out of bounds as well.
You know, wide open there, kind of fading out late. Wide open, gets yardage. That's exactly what you want if you're Los Lomas. Clock stops.
So a nice play there to Cooley as they get out across the 30 to the 34. So a 14-yard gain there on first down. And making it another first down and 10 here for Dylan Thomas and the Los Lobos Knights. Thomas back, rolling here, fires for the sideline and drops in and out of the hands of Landon Gilmore, and he is really having a problem with the drops here this evening.
Yeah, I mean, even as a quarterback, Dylan Thomas, it is tough to get something going if your receivers are dropping those balls.
And unofficially, I've got that at 3 right now at runs that Gilmore should have had that couldn't hold on to. So the Knights got to feel really frustrated with the score, and then frustrated there that didn't, have a chance to get a pretty big play and another first down. And going to the sideline, it looked like they would have been able to get it out of bounds and stop the clock again.
And it's second down here. They've still got opportunities, just got to pick it up and try to get some yards here.
Thomas barking out the signal. Dylan back, has time, steps up, throws deep down the field, looking for a man into triple coverage. It's incomplete.
Yeah, as you said, Tony, triple coverage. Los Lomas really just trying to get anything they can here. You can't get it all back in one play. And Northgate, I mean, solid defensive play, solid secondary there.
So that'll bring up third down and 10. Mercado, the intended receiver, he's the leading guy on the outside for the Knights. He's a big play wideout. They were looking for the big play there, but not only double team, but triple team. Boy, the Bronco defense not fooled at all by that play, waiting for that go route.
Here's another third down for the Knights, and a crucial one. There's 59 seconds left in the half. That's
don't want to give the ball back to Northgate.
Yeah.
Third down and 10 for the Knights. Panic right up the middle, shooting into the secondary, breaking tackles, picking up a first down into Broncos territory rather, and a huge play for the Knights. And boy, they really needed that. And how about that from Caden Lagaya, just shot out of the backfield that time. Take another look.
Yeah, he was moving right out of the gun.
Almost looked like a hold there downfield, but finally dragged out of bounds, but not before he gets to the 40-yard line of Northgate.
51 seconds left in the half now.
A 30-yard gain there for Lagaya. They're going to give it to him again. Bounces to the outside, cuts it to the inside. Lagaya's got good room, and he's going to get inside the 35 to about down to the 33-yard line this time.
Yeah, well, besides that Thomas touchdown we saw earlier, a pretty solid run, maybe the best one of the game from a player besides Thomas.
We're going to get a flag on the play, and it looks like it's in the offensive backfield. It is, and it's going to be holding against the Knights, so bring it back. Usually a spot of the foul call if it's downfield, but in the backfield, it's going to be 10 yards back from the previous spot. So that's a killer. Looked like it was going to be a 7-yard gain, but now they're going to back the Knights up. But with 42 seconds to go, field goal range very possible. 20, maybe a little more than 20 yards to give their guy a chance.
Yeah, but how much does a field goal do here in a 24-7 game? That's something Doug Longero's got to think over, but this clock's ticking. They don't have too much time left, 33 seconds, approaching 30, as this ball is about to get snapped for the Knights.
Second down to 20 now from midfield. Here comes Mercado to the near side. Fakes the handoff under some pressure. Thomas trying to get away, now throws, and this ball is going to be tipped up in the air and incomplete. Almost intercepted, and that was almost a disaster for Thomas and the Knights.
Yeah, well, you see the pressure there, just tries to get the ball out. Maybe not the best decision-making there by Dylan Thomas.
Ethan Kangla, number 51, shot into the backfield, and he put pressure on immediately. And then Thomas made that questionable decision right there. Doesn't want to take a sack, but that was nearly picked off. And nearly getting that was Jack Kessler, the linebacker, and he probably thinks he should have had it. 16 seconds to go. Second down upcoming here for the Knights.
Yeah, how many plays do the Knights have left in them in this first half? We'll see. Here's
maybe 3. Lagaya up the middle. He's got good room, but I don't think they have a timeout. Or do they? Trying to see whether they do or not. It doesn't look like they do. And that is going to do it for the first half. And a dominating first half for the Northgate Broncos. Through 2 quarters, 24-7. Northgate all over Los Lomas. Come on back to Walnut Creek TV. We'll have the second half action of the 2023 game of the Battle of the Creek in just a moment.
Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Can I play with it?
No, absolutely not. It's not a toy. You know that. Anyway, I need it to protect you, your sister, and Mom.
But what about the 8 kids who get shot every day by mistake?
Where'd you hear that?
Where do you keep it?
It's hidden.
I bet it's on the top shelf of the closet, under your sweatshirts. Is it loaded? Remember when I found my Christmas gift? You always told me to be curious.
No. No, that's not what I meant.
And when it's just me and Mom, I could use the gun to protect her.
No, Justin. I promise. I'm always here for you.
But Dad, you're not always here.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm done.
Why do you ask that, kiddo? No, absolutely not. It's not a toy. You know that. Anyway, I need it to protect you, your sister and mom.
But what about the 8 kids who get shot every day by mistake?
Where'd you hear that?
Where do you keep it?
It's hidden.
I bet it's on the top shelf of the closet, under your sweatshirts. Is it loaded? Remember when I found my Christmas gift? You always told me to be curious.
No, that's not what I meant.
And when it's just me and Mom, I could use the gun to protect her.
No, Justin, I promise. I'm always here for you.
But Dad, you're not always here.
The Creek here in Las Lomas. I'm Anthony Schultz along with Adam Tarr, and what a first half there for Northgate as they get up on big on Las Lomas 24-7, and it really was, the defense obviously played really well, Adam, but Hostler in that running game dominant for Northgate.
Yeah, well, I mean, that Northgate offense is going to get the ball back. We will see Hostler back in action immediately after we get underway.
Yeah, the 3 touchdowns on the ground, 166 yards from that running attack by Northgate. Hostler accounting for the 3 touchdowns, and that was really what the Las Lomas Knights couldn't stop. They had that fumble which hurt them, a couple of drops also that hurt them, but really as we take a look at the running game, here's Hostler going over for that first touchdown. That was a 3-yard run, and that was a 45-yard drive after they got the 3 and out to start the football game.
Yeah, again, all 3 touchdowns by Hostler on the night for the Broncos, also getting a field goal. Here's Las Lomas.
This is
Dylan Thomas.
Yeah, that turned into a 38-yard TD run, and that was on a 3rd down and 4 for Las Lomas as they got on the board, and at that point the game was tied 7-7, but from then on out, all Northgate.
Yeah, really the best play of the night for Las Lomas. The only points they've gotten on the board, it comes on the quarterback run.
And here he's going to be Hostler again for his 2nd TD run. That was following a Northgate field goal, and this time it would be Hostler over from 7 yards, and that gave the Northgate Broncos a 17-7 advantage. He was in there with that cut inside, and then again, what he's been doing a lot tonight, and that's making tacklers miss. A lot of guys with a chance to stop him before he got to the end zone. None of them could do it. Here we go here with the 37-yard run. This would finish off the scoring here in the first half. And then you see the block by Berger to help spring him to the outside. Another block on the outside here. And that sprung him all the way. 37 yards later, it's a touchdown for Northgate. And that concluded a dominating first half of the Broncos as they lead it 24-7.
Yeah, on that last touchdown, you even see Hostler's speed there. Not only able to break tackles, but able to just really get out and run. A long touchdown there for the Broncos. Obviously also had that field goal on the turnover by Las Lomas, and that's where we get 24 from for the Broncos. And then again, just that Thomas touchdown run for Las Lomas. They're really going to be looking to solidify both defensively and offensively to get some momentum and rhythm going.
Yeah, you know, you and I talked about it in the open that, you know, despite the records that maybe the talent level is a lot closer, certainly we're seeing that here tonight, but I certainly did not expect this kind of dominating performance against Las Lomas.
Yeah, and again, a chance for Northgate to extend that lead. Just a few mistakes here and there for Las Lomas, and that's really what's killed them at this point.
Yeah, but like you said, when you're making some of those mistakes and you just cannot stop the run, this is what you get. 3-possession lead here to start the game for the Knights. But, you know, anything can happen. We were doing the Battle of the Creek and volleyball yesterday, and Las Lomas got up 2-0, and, you know, Bright me said, oh, come on, chance of them coming back pretty slim here. So even though it's a 17-point deficit here for Las Lomas, anything's possible, and maybe the Knights can get back in there. So there is Ben Ballard over there on that Broncos sideline. Had to enjoy what he saw in that first half.
Yeah, if you're the Knights, you're thinking if Northgate can put up 24, can't we put up 24? And they're really going to be trying to do as much as they can offensively, but it's got to start right here on the defense, getting a stop. They really don't want to see this lead increase for the Broncos. Let's see if they can do it.
All right, Sokol to kick off, and a fresh 12 minutes on that third quarter clock, and the second half of the Battle of the Creek is underway, and Sokol putting it in the end zone, and that will be a touchback. And Northgate gets the first possession here with 12 minutes to go on that third quarter clock, and they'll start from their own 20-yard line. Okay, before we get this next play, you've got to tell me about some of the festivities going on here at halftime here for Las Lomas.
Yeah, so Los Lomas, they have this thing during homecoming week. It is homecoming weekend. This is the homecoming football game for Los Lomas. And I also believe Northgate, those dances, that's a dance competition that we see between the 4 grades at Los Lomas. That specifically, though, was the seniors. I think we had over 100 seniors in a class of about 400 people participating. So the pure volume of people was impressive.
Whole lot of fun here at Las Lomas in a packed house. Boyd under center as we begin the second half of play. Going to hand out. There's that man Hostler again. And this time dropped in the backfield, and he'll be hit for the loss back near the 15-yard line. Several players getting up off the tackle for Las Lomas. Among them, but not limited to, Chase Martin, number 51.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about going into this game, Charlie Kruger, one of those really important players on the O-line and the D-line. Can he step up here and really get the Knights to stop the run game of the Broncos and really try to start doing something for the Knights overall in this game?
And some good news for Las Lomas. Troy Sekira, number 50, who has been having such a good game defensively for Las Lomas, was injured earlier in the game, but he is back out there and in the lineup right now for Las Lomas. So a loss there on first down of 3 yards brings up second down to 13. For the Las Lomas Knights, push back to their 17-yard line, and Northgate fumbles the football. It's picked up, and they're going to hit the backfield, flips the ball backward. Oh, boy, what a risky play, and this is going to be a big loss. Hostler ends up with it, but a huge loss for Northgate. They're on second and long, and it's third down and forever right now for the Broncos.
Yeah, well, Northgate almost throwing the ball away after fumbling it. I don't know if that was the right decision. Again, Hostler comes down with it. And again, Northgate with the lead, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to give Las Lomas free points.
Boy, they lost 12 yards on that play. And after the fumble, they had a guy pick up the ball and try to run with it and then pitch the ball backwards. So what a disastrous play right there. Third down and 25 now here for Northgate. Boyd hands off. Hostler's got it. He won't get back to the 10-yard line, so that'll do it for this drive. The opening drive is going to go 3 and out for Northgate, and that's exactly what Las Lomas needed to start this second half.
Yeah, well, not only a 3 and out, but forcing them all the way back inside of their 10. Las Lomas is going to be happy with that. Can their offense do the same and try to get some points?
Yeah, minus 13 yards on the drive here, Adam, and look where they are going to punt from in their own end zone.
Yeah, almost a reversal of the first half of the game where we saw Las Lomas losing that field position battle. Let's see where the punt goes for the Broncos.
Here's Lesueur. He's a good punter, and he gets a good kick here. This one is going to hit near the 45, take a Northgate bounce. They're going to let this one roll, and how about that from Lesueur? This is going to roll all the way down inside the 41-yard line of the Knights. So, given with the situation, Lesueur comes up with a big kick right there, and that is a huge play for Northgate.
Yeah, the Knights elect not to receive that and just let it bounce, and Northgate's going to get some extra yardage from that one in terms of putting it further back. Las Lomas is going to have more work to do about their 41-yard line.
Boy, that is about a 52-yard net from Lesueur right there. And you talk about having a kicker that can kick field goals. How about a punter that can kick you out of danger like that? But Las Lomas does get good field position here from their own 41. 9:31 to go here in the third quarter. Back to pass, looking under immediate pressure, trying to get away. Throws to the sideline. It's going to be caught. That's going to be first down yardage out across the 50 into Northgate territory at the 48. They gain 12 yards on the play, and that will be a Las Lomas first down.
Yeah, Dylan Thomas, again, one of those players we've seen moving out of the pocket tonight. I almost thought that was going to be a bad decision to throw the ball, but they make the reception, get the first down. Passing on first down there.
Yeah, Thomas able to roll to his right, barely got away from the Northgate defender that time, but able to get the ball to Cooley on the other side of the 50. So it's a 12-yard gain there and another first down here for the Knights as they operate from the Northgate 48-yard line, first down at 10. Thomas having Mercado go the other way. Going to hand off, going to go up the middle. And, boy, they're going to get good yardage here out to the 40-yard line. About 8 yards on that play. And that is number 4, Lagaya again. Caden Lagaya's had some good runs. Picks up about 8 yards here, maybe 9. And it's going to be second down and short for Las Lomas.
Yeah, again, if I think Los Lomas wants to make up, this deficit, they're going to have to get consistency on offense. Hopefully they can start building that here. You see that run there inside of Northgate territory, about the 40-yard line, second down.
Yeah, well, the bad news is they trail the game 24-7. The good news is you get a score, and it's only a 2-possession game with a lot of time to go here in the ball game. Thomas, handoff. Lagaya is going to get it. Off tackle to the right side, trying to look for some room. And he's going to pick up about 4 yards, pick up another first down inside the 40-yard line, down to about the 37. So can't call it a gain of 5 yards there. And that is going to be another first down for the Knights.
Yeah, Los Lomas has certainly faced their adversities this year within games, although they're 4-0. That's another one of the reasons we said we expected this to be a close one. We certainly didn't expect Northgate to have a 17-point lead at this point.
So Cooley with a catch and a first down, couple of runs for Lagaya, and another first down for Los Lomas. So after getting the 3 and out from Northgate, looking pretty good here on this drive, and this one's going to be caught and dropped. Boy, I just can't believe how many times this has happened. Colby Cooley was wide open, and maybe that time, Adam, he was looking to run with the football before he hauled it in.
Yeah, not even a lot of pressure on Dylan Thomas. They're a good ball out of his hands and just can't make the catch. Got to make those ones. You don't want to come back.
There was a couple of defenders there, but certainly not close enough to prevent the catch, and Colby just couldn't hang on. And we're talking about 4 drops right now and a little more than a half here for the Los Lomas receiving corps. So Los Lomas trying to get some points here and cut into a 17-point deficit in what was a very dominating performance for Northgate in that first half. And now the Knights trying to answer here. Second down and 10 from the 37. And throws. And Mercado's got this one at the 30, trying to cut it back. Gets down to about the 27-yard line, and that looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. They will move the chains. So Mercado picks up 10, maybe 11, another first down. Third one on this drive for the Knights.
Yeah, it looked like a very similar play to the previous one, but that time able to bring the ball in. It's interesting to see Dylan Thomas passing in the pocket with a little pressure. We've seen him moving a lot tonight. We'll see if he's going to do better in the pocket. Again, a mobile quarterback, but having the pocket to yourself is not a bad thing.
Los Lomas on the move. Lagaya gets it. Gets tripped up. And let's see, gets about a yard that time. And call it second down at 9. So Northgate able to bottle him up this time, and it'll bring up second down and long for the Broncos. Charlie Kruger and that offensive line for the Knights holding up pretty well here on this drive, particularly in the passing game. But they come up here with a second down and long here, and there's a look at Doug Longero. 6:20 and counting, third quarter here. The 2023 version of the Battle of the Creek. Thomas back with time, throws over and down in the side. Mercado's got it, and he is down near the goal line. No signal yet, and now there's the signal. Touchdown, Los Lomas.
Yeah, we'll see on the replay how Mercado was able to bring that one in. But again, just another pocket pass for Dylan Thomas, and he slings it into the end zone, and Los Lomas gets their first passing touchdown of the game. A very solid offensive drive. Looked like they were able to get in a rhythm. And here's an extra point opportunity to cut it to 10.
So how about that for Los Lomas? And that is going to be a 59-yard drive, finishing with a 26-yard TD pass to Mercado. And Sokol with the kick, and this one up, and it is no good, wide to the left. So the point fails, and with 6:05 to go here in the third quarter, 24-13 in favor of Northgate, and they're going to get the football back. But things looking up here for Los Lomas. They get the big play for the loss on the first possession of the quarter with Northgate going backwards, and then they're able to get good field position and then go all the way down for the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, missing the extra point, though, could be crucial going down the line, right? If they don't get a 2-point conversion at some point, then they need 2 touchdowns to tie this game or even take the lead.
Well, here's that pass to Mercado.
Yeah.
Able to make the catch inside the 5-yard line. And with a defender all over him, Trevor Stapp, number 13, was there, but he could not prevent the catch nor the touchdown. So here's the kickoff. And this is going to be taken in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback for Northgate. And they get the ball here. The 6:05 to go in the third at their own 20.
Yeah, so we saw Las Lomas get that first stop. Can they do it again? They're going to have to do it at least a few times in this half if they want any chance at coming back. Can that O-line, or sorry, the D-line, can they continue to be solid? Can Charlie Kruger, Sakara, can those two leaders help this D-line get a stop?
So here comes Northgate. Of course, the last few years, John Peltier was the quarterback, 3-year starter. He's now at Boise. And the younger guy's taken over here and quickly under pressure, trying to get away and unable to do so. Hit hard and down he goes. Kavika Boyd, just swarmed under immediately, and Las Lomas coming out fired up here in this third quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Northgate was trying to do there. Boyd takes the ball, gets tackled immediately, and Las Lomas again, showing that they can do it defensively.
Boy, and getting up off the tackle. And there's Troy again for another play. Boy, he has made a lot of them. And Sakura having himself a great night defensively, even though so far it hasn't been a great night defensively for his fellow Knights.
Yeah, second down now.
Yeah, it's going to be second down, a loss of a couple following that sack. And, of course, as the statistics go, that goes against the running game in high school. Go against, obviously, the passing game in the pros, but so Ballard is now going to take over, and now we have flags fly here. And this is going to go against Northgate. Not exactly sure what the penalty was for. I didn't see anybody jump. And the back judge way out here playing the deep safety position threw a flag. So more bad things here for Northgate as they are going to lose 5 more yards. They're going to be backed up now all the way inside their own 20-yard line to about the 17. This is going to bring up a second down and 17 here for the Broncos. Ballard left-hander throws. He's got a man. It's Berger. And he is going to pick up some pretty good yardage. He's going to go out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. So a good pickup there of 12 yards as Berger able to make the catch on the far side of the field.
Yeah, you see them bring Ballard in there, moves to his left, and then throws it with his left hand.
Talk about versatility.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is third down. And it looks like Boyd is back. Or no, sorry, Ballard is still out there as the quarterback. That gives them some options with a third and short, able to run that ball. You saw him just throw it, though.
Well, this makes it a very makeable third down situation at 3rd and 2. Handoff. And not able to get it. I think he's going to be a little bit short. Hostler got the ball, but he did not get the 30-yard line and a half. And now they're going to say he did get the first down. They are going to move the chains, and that will be a first down for Northgate. And that is a big pickup. And following a second down and 17.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the scoreboard. We're already back to about 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. The time is dwindling for Las Lomas to make a comeback. Definitely still time. Just got to see their defense do it again. It is a tough one there on second and 17.
It was.
And then a first down for Northgate. That's a tough one to take, but they got to bounce back.
Ben Hostler having a big game. And throwing wobbly pass, and nobody home over there on the sideline. I'm not sure if that ball was tipped or not, but it came out of the hand ugly. That was kind of the wounded duck right there, and that is going to be incomplete. And that'll bring up second down and 10. So Ben Hostler, the running back, gets most of the carries as he has in this ball game. Went for 120 on 20 carries in that last ball game. Northgate lost that last game to Miramani, but that was actually very close. They only lost by 1, and they had over 460 yards of offense and lost by 1 point.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, we saw Hostler in that first half get 3 touchdowns. Haven't seen as much of him so far to start this half. Las Lomas has been better on defense. Here's a second down.
Second down and 10. There's a fake. Ballard looking for some room, turns the corner. Ballard's at the 40, 45 across midfield, racing down the far side, hit and banged out of bounds finally, but it's going to be a huge gain here for Northgate, and they're going to pick up another first down. Boy, Bradley able to find big yardage out there, Ballard. It turned into a huge run, but it's going to come back. It's going to be holding against Northgate, and let's see if we can pick up where it happened. Boy, tried to split between the defender and his own man, but it's not going to matter because the flag was thrown inside the 30.
Yeah, well, that's the second flag on Northgate on this drive, and that's a really important one. You saw Ballard take off into Los Lomas territory. That could have been a dagger early in this game, but Los Lomas lives to fight another day. And at the end, Northgate has got 20 yards to go now. 2 downs to do it. Maybe, yeah, they got 2 downs to go.
How about that exchange right there, though, Adam? Instead of having the ball up here at the 30-yard line of Los Lomas with a first down, now it's first down and 20, and you're back to your own 21. And this one, a wobbler way up high, and that's going to be caught on the sideline at midfield. Tackle broken down the far sideline, running away, touchdown. Northgate in the end zone again. 79 yards on the catch and run, and Northgate strikes again. It's 30-13.
Yeah, Ballard with the throw. That's his longest throw of the year, maybe one of the more important ones too. He just lofted it up there.
R.J. Anderson, that ball was wobbling. They had the one-on-one coverage. Did they throw another flag? They're talking it over here. Did he step out of bounds? I'm not sure what the conversation is about here.
It was a little bit of a messy play.
But the officials are talking it over. Yeah, it did not look like a very good pass. Anderson, it kind of looked like it was going to either Anderson, and you could see the defender ran by him, and then Anderson making the play there.
Yeah, maybe some type of push-off.
But they're going to pick up the flag, so it is going to be a touchdown. R.J. Anderson. And how about that? 79 yards for the score. It will count. 3:40 to go. It's 30-13. Northgate, and another point after upcoming.
Well, Tony, that really felt like a drive where Los Lomas had multiple opportunities to get off the field. Again, a 2nd and 17, and I think there it was a 2nd and 20.
So things go from bad to worse for the Los Lomas Knights. They had them backed up with 2nd and 17, couldn't hold that, and then they give up the huge pass play to R.J. Anderson. Snap, spot, kick is good. And with 3:40 to go here in the third quarter, a commanding 31-13 lead here for Northgate, and Los Lomas a whole lot of work to do to get back in this one.
Yeah, a few plays from Ballard there that, honestly, I mean, seeing that lofted pass was quite incredible. All of the flags coming out, quite the drive. There's the catch. You can see the defender kind of just bounced off and then not able to make the tackle.
Boy, that's Landon Gilmore. He's had a tough night on offense and now a tough night on defense. He was in good position but just overran the play. And as you said, then he couldn't make the tackle near midfield.
Yeah, it's about 50 yards after the catch.
Yes.
No one back for Los Lomas except the player there who couldn't make the tackle.
So Los Lomas gives up the huge play. That drive began at the 20-yard line for Northgate, so they finish with an 80-yard drive, and it ends up being a 79-yard catch and run for R.J. Anderson. Ball fell off the tee here, and LeSueur will tee it back up. Well, the bad news is for Los Lomas is that they're way behind. The good news is that there's still a lot of time left. But after the first couple of series in this third quarter, you thought maybe they had really come out to play in this half. And this is going to be an onside kick. And the ball is going to be covered by Los Lomas right near midfield. And boy, how about that? I never would have expected such a thing. But that is going to be a huge break for the Los Lomas Knights. And able to cover that one up is number 22, Cole Havrilenko. So Havrilenko comes and makes that play after the onside kick, so the Knights will start at midfield.
Yeah, so in this half, 7 points for Northgate, 6 for Los Lomas, ultimately resulting in a 31-13 lead for the Broncos. But they give Los Lomas the ball just at midfield, basically.
Well, here's Thomas in the offense. They were just given a gift right there on the attempted onside kick by Northgate that they were able to cover, and sprinting into the secondary. Here's Lagaya, cuts it back, 30, 25, cuts it to the inside, and hit and tripped up at about the 15-yard line. Oh, Lagaya with a huge run.
Yeah, the offense has certainly been better for Los Lomas than the crowd is ecstatic.
35 yards on the run for Lagaya, and the Knights quickly in business here on this drive.
Yeah, well, Lagaya averaging about 35 a game, gets most of his average right there.
And Lagaya started a tailback last year, very athletic guy, and you just saw the speed and the cutback ability right there. First down and 10. And Lagaya fumbled the ball. Now he's going to cover it up. Did he get it back? I think he did. But, boy, that was almost another disaster for Los Lomas had they ended up losing that football. So Lagaya able to cover up that fumble. And very fortunate for Los Lomas, they maintained possession.
Yeah,
so
looks like they lose 3 yards on the play.
And Lagaya's been hurt the whole season. He's really just getting back to being healthy right now, and certainly showed it right there. And there is that last run of 35 yards before they were able to take him down. Boy, the Knights, you talk about needing a touchdown. They certainly need one here. Mercado going in motion. Thomas rolling to his right with some time, steps up now, trying to run. No, he's going to be hit and stopped. He will not get back to the line of scrimmage. So Northgate able to make the stop there. And that's going to bring up third down. They're calling this 13.
Yeah, it's 2 straight plays for Los Lomas that don't go their way after the big gain for Lagaya. Let's see. I mean, they really need a touchdown here. I don't think a field goal is going to do too much with 2 minutes to go in the third.
Field goal would make it a 2-score game. But certainly you would like to get the touchdown here, down by a score of 31-13, and throw and caught, and Mercado, and he does hold on inside the 10-yard line. That is going to leave him short of a first down, but I gotta think in this situation they would go for it here.
Yeah, inside the 10 now, just about.
It's going to be fourth down here. They're going to call it fourth down at 4. Ball spotted at the Northgate 9-yard line.
Feels like a must.
Now they're going to get the field goal. It would make it a 2-score game, so that does make sense. And Sokol spot kick is up. It is good. And with 1 minute even to go here in this third quarter, a Sokol field goal makes it a 31-16 game here for Northgate. And the Broncos going to get the ball back here. So they started at their own 50-yard line, got it inside the 10. The big Lagaya run, the biggest play of the drive, but they do get some points. And I was kind of thinking the way you were, where, you're down by, quite a bit here. You really wanted to get a touchdown. And then after they got the Mercado catch to make it kind of at least a manageable fourth down situation, I thought that Longero might go for it there. He decides to kick the field goal, and he gets it, and it is a 2-possession game.
Yeah, Los Lomas is going to kick it off here again. It's a 15-point game now, which means you do need 2 touchdowns, but at some point you're also going to potentially need a 2-point conversion to tie the game, assuming that Northgate does not score anymore. A crucial defensive possession coming up as the Knights are about to kick it away.
Sokol with the kickoff, bangs this one toward the goal line into the end zone. That will be a touchback. So Northgate gets the football back. Under a minute to go, or just a minute to go here, as that was an untimed play. So a minute to go here in the third quarter. And Los Lomas trailing at 31-16, and here comes that Bronco offense.
Yeah, Los Lomas doing a lot better with field position in this second half. Again, Northgate starting at that 20. They just got to get a stop here. No other way to put it. Let's see who the Broncos elect to take at quarterback for this drive.
Well, there you see Hostler coming back into the ball game. And there is Blaine Ballard. No, that wasn't Blaine Ballard. It is going to be, looks like Kavika is going to be under center here. First down and 10 from their 20. Kavika back, throws deep down the far side, and it's going to be intercepted. And how about that? Landon Gilmore, who's had a tough night, comes up with a huge play as they were trying to get the ball down to Ballard. They had the one-on-one coverage. Gilmore makes the catch.
Yeah, well, what about two lofted balls into one-on-one coverage, one of them going for a touchdown and one of them getting intercepted by the Knights? And a gift to Los Lomas, but you do have to give them credit for being able to get that ball on the one-on-one. And now 53 seconds to go, that's one play for Northgate and back to Los Lomas in great field position.
From their own 47-yard line, following the Gilmore interception, you got to feel good there for Landon too, because it's been a tough night for him. But he makes the big play there. Back to pass. Looking, throwing, and caught. Cooley's got it. He's going to be inside the 40 and down to about the 41-yard line of Northgate.
Clock stopped momentarily, and it starts ticking again.
So about a 12-yard pickup on that play. That's going to be a first down. And a nice throw and catch for Los Lomas as Thomas able to get it out to Colby Cooley. And they're going to mark this at the 42-yard line. So about an 11-yard gain there and another first down here for the Knights.
Yeah, again, if the Knights are able to get a touchdown here, it's down to a one-score game. Pressure's on Northgate a little bit, but the Knights definitely want to get their score.
Here comes Landon in motion. Back to pass, Thomas throws and tries to get it to Landon. That went a little bit too high. Had a linebacker bearing down on him. Number 52 was coming up. That is Palisos. But that ball a little bit too high for Landon. You can't really blame him for that one.
Second down here for the Knights. I didn't think he would have, even if he caught that ball, it didn't really look like he was going to have much room to do anything with it.
All right, here's Thomas. Three wide receivers bunched over here to the near side. Now Mercado's going to go in motion. Safety goes out there with him. Thomas rolling to his right with time. Throws for the sideline, and Mercado's going to make the catch. Goes out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. That is going to be enough for a first down. So about 8, maybe 9 yards on the play to Mercado, and the Knights move the chains, and the fans loving that. And boy, this game was looking like it was getting away from the Knights, and all of a sudden here, they get a score here, and we've got a very close ball game indeed. There's Mercado making sure everybody knows it's a first down. First and 10 from the Bronco 27-yard line. Thomas, hands off, and right up the middle, Lagaya, he's got big room. Lagaya cuts it to the outside, 5, touchdown!
Wow. Just like that, the Knights are within one score on the last play of the third quarter.
That's the way the third quarter ends. Lagaya with a 27-yard touchdown run. They'll kick the extra point here, and how about that? All of a sudden, the Los Lomas Knights, boy, right in the thick of this, down 31-22 with the PAT coming up.
Yeah, remember, Los Lomas did miss a PAT earlier. It's a 9-point game right now, so you need to make this to make it a one-score game.
Boy, are they going to go for 2 here?
Wow,
Thomas
doing it
came
early.
out onto the field, and it looks like they are going to go for 2. It's a 9-point deficit right now.
Well, they have the momentum, and maybe Coach Langero is going off of that.
They're going to try to cut it to 7 right here. 2-point conversion upcoming. Gilmore in motion, looking for him, throws for him. And Gilmore, and he's got it. The 2-point conversion is good. He gets it to Gilmore, and that makes it 31-24. It's a one-possession game. Come on back. The fourth quarter coming up. Battle of the Creek right here on Walnut Creek TV. right, starting the fourth quarter now. And Sokol will kick it off for Las Lomas, and he booms this one to the end zone. Taken at the goal line. Northgate had a chance to return this one. Turn the corner to the right side and get out past the 20. Out past the 25. Let's see where they're going to mark it. And they're going to mark it at about the 26-yard line. So a 26-yard return for Northgate as they begin this next drive. First down and 10 from their own 26.
Yeah, well, going back to that last drive, if you remember, Northgate went for the onside kick, giving Las Lomas good field position, and now just like that, it's 31-24. We also haven't seen the returners get many opportunities to go down the field. There's the touchdown by Lagaya. Again, very similar to a lot of those touchdowns we saw by Hostler on Northgate. Hostler, sorry.
All right, Northgate needs an answer all of a sudden here. Looked like they were starting to run away with this, Adam, but all of a sudden, Las Lomas has made this a great football game here in the fourth quarter. Bounce it out to the right side. That's Hostler again. He's got good room. Down the sideline he goes, crosses midfield, and he breaks the tackle. Still going. Mercado trying to get him out of bounds, and finally he goes out of bounds. They're going to mark this ball. Where are they finally going to mark it? Boy, what a huge run for Hostler. It looked like Mercado was going to get him out of bounds, but he couldn't. And boy, they're finally going to mark this at the 20-yard line.
All night we've seen Las Lomas miss some tackles, and again there, it's just going to hurt them, especially after all the momentum they've built. There you go, down the sideline. Hostler.
Well, that ends up being a 56-yard run for Hostler, who's just had a monster night. And the Northgate running game is just chewing up Las Lomas here.
Yeah, you got to think Hostler's got well over 150 yards now. 3 touchdowns in that first half. Ballard's still on the field here. They continue to go with him, even after the interception on the last drive. Here we go.
First and 10 from the 20. And they can try to go up the middle. Las Lomas able to bottle this one up pretty well. Maybe a couple of yards on that carry. Hostler getting up from the bottom of the pile. So Las Lomas able to hold him to a short gain here. It'll bring up second down and 8.
Yeah, but just like that, again, time feels a little bit more of the essence for Las Lomas now that Northgate is in prime position to either make it a 14-point game or a 10-point game.
Boy, Hostler looking to be the player of the game. 37-yard touchdown run, and now a 56-yard touchdown run on this play. And like you said, he's got to be well over 150 yards rushing here this evening. Fakes the handoff, and then they're going to throw into the end zone, incomplete. We're actually about the 5-yard line. Looked like they were trying to get the ball to number 18, Jack Ibrahimi. And Ibrahimi, guy that they've been using quite a bit, but been pretty quiet here tonight.
Yeah, just overthrown there. It's third down now, so a crucial play for the Knights. You really want to keep it at least at 10, if anything. But here we go.
Ballard in at quarterback. You got to think we might see a run here on third down, and now we have some movement, and that's going to go against Las Lomas. Encroachment against the defense. So a third and 8's going to turn into a 3rd and 3, and another one of those mistakes, and Las Lomas, Adam, they've just made too many of those tonight.
Yeah, and again, at 3rd and short, now Ballard's legs become more of an option, and there you see the infraction on Las Lomas.
Yeah, Charlie Kruger and Johnny Selleck both biting on that hard count, and that's a couple of times that Northgate has got them to jump off sides with that hard count. 3rd down and 3 now. From the 13-yard line, Ballard trying to turn the corner on the right side, and he is going to get very close. And now they're going to mark it, so it'll be a fumble. And the Knights have recovered. Over on the sideline on the far side of the field, the Knights recover a fumble, and they take over here with 10:49 to go. First down and 10 going the other way.
Yeah, that's another turnover for Northgate. I mean, that's right at the goal line. The pylon even falling on that play. Let's see where that ball comes out. There's Ballard right there as he extends forward.
Boy, it looked like that was getting his helmet on. There was the quarterback, Dylan Thomas, playing defense. And he made the tackle as the ball was coming out. It looked like he got his head right on that football to help jar that ball loose. So Las Lomas taking over here with 10:49 to go here in the fourth.
Yeah, obviously not great field position, but you're going to take it there.
Ball on the 3, trying to get out of the backfield and barely doing so. And Northgate wraps up Ligaya very quickly, very short gain. It'll bring up second down for the Knights.
Yeah, right around the goal line there. I mean, Northgate's going to be feeling pretty good about being able to keep Las Lomas down here inside of their 5.
Well, I think they said they lost a couple of yards on. I thought the original line of scrimmage was the 3. They're marking it back at the 1, and so apparently Ligaya lost yardage on that play. Yeah, he did. It's going to bring up second down and 12. And boy, the Knights going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat here to try to pick up some yardage, and they're going to call timeout and talk it over. Timeout on the field, 10:05 to go, 31-24 Northgate. So following a 56-yard run for Hostler, they were able to get the ball deep down into Knights territory, but Ballard running off to the right ends up getting down inside the 5-yard line, hit and fumbles the ball, and Las Lomas, able to avoid giving up more points, at least for the moment. But now they've got to get the ball out of the shadow of their own goalpost, or Northgate's going to have another chance to score.
Yeah, it's a few offensive drives in a row for the Broncos where you really thought they were going to be able to extend that lead again and put some daggers in Las Lomas, but an interception and then a fumble at basically the 1-yard line there. But Las Lomas in a little bit of a pickle here at their own 1-yard line, and it's second down. What do you do here if you're Coach Langero?
Yeah, not a lot of good play calls for down and distance in this position of the field. All right. Offense back out there on the field. Second down and 12, operating from their own 1-yard line. Thomas barking out the signals. Thomas got some room, and over the left side, he picks up yardage. Thomas has got himself a first down, and how about that for Las Lomas? Getting the ball out of the shadow of their own goalpost, and now, let's see, signal. Now they are just going to spot this ball. I thought the officials had thrown a flag or something. There was some kind of commotion there, but it's going to be a big gain out to the 17-yard line. So a 16-yard run there for Thomas when they absolutely needed it most.
Yeah, it's great to see both quarterbacks, Ballard for Northgate and then Thomas for Las Lomas, using their legs really to the advantage of their teams. Again, Thomas with a huge touchdown in that first half.
Troy Secura coming off the field again, an apparent injury, standing there on the sideline getting a, maybe he's just getting a breather, but a little slow to come off. We'll see if he comes back into the ball game. Thomas with a low snap handles that, rolling out to the near side, throws. He's got a man. It's Mercado up at the 30-yard line. So Mercado is going to have a first down as he picks up 12 on that pass to the sideline. Ball came out of Thomas's hands a little wobbly, but effective nonetheless. First down, Las Lomas.
Yeah, and just like that, from the 2-yard line, the Knights on the 29 now.
Boy, nice catch by Mercado. Had to reach out. Didn't want to run too far because he would have been out of bounds. Able to haul it in there. First down, they're going to mark this ball the 29-yard line here for Las Lomas. 9:25 and counting here in the ball game. It's a 7-point lead for Northgate. Handoff. Is that Ligaya again, picking up some yardage. Corralled there. And Daniel Sokol, well, pardon me, that's going to be number 7, Jack Kessler, the linebacker, coming up to make the tackle. But it's going to be a pretty good gain here as they get up to the 35-yard line. Calling about 6 yards on that play for Ligaya. And second down and 4 upcoming for the Knights.
Yeah, we see when Ligaya is able to get out really fast, he's able to get some yards, including that touchdown a few drives ago.
Mercado split out here to the near side. Thomas looking with time, throws. He's got Mercado just short of the 45-yard line up to the 44. That's going to be another first down here for the Knights. It's a 9-yard pickup, and the Knights drive continues here. Boy, what a great game here tonight in the 2023 version of the Battle of the Creek. Anthony Schultz along with Adam Tarr. So glad we could bring it to you. And after that first half, wondering what kind of game we were going to get in the second half. What kind of game we're getting is a great one here. Knights from their own 44. Lagaya's got it, hit in the backfield, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It looks like Lagaya's going to lose about a yard. And guys getting up off the tackle here, among them, Tanasi Palazos making the stop there for Northgate.
Yeah, so Los Lomas entering a little bit of a rhythm here offensively, a little bit of the run, good passes outside towards McCardo. Here's a second down and long.
Colby Cooley split out to the far side. Like they'll have one-on-one coverage over there. Here comes Landon going in motion. Low snap again. Thomas looking, throws. He's got a man and dropped in and out of the hands of Cooley as he could not make the catch on the Northgate side of the field. And I think we're just saying that too many times here tonight.
Yeah, well, Tony, my question for you is on a 3rd and 10 now, what does Los Lomas do? Do they punt it away if they're not able to get a first down? You would think so, but 7 minutes, it's getting a little bit tight.
It's getting a little bit tight, and what I'm thinking about is if you're Doug Longero, if you come up with a short yardage situation here, say if you pick up 6 or 7, maybe you do go for it, because you got to figure if you give the ball back to Northgate, chances are they're going to be able to get at least a few first downs. Timeout, Los Lomas. They want to talk it over right now. And a timeout on the field. 7:21 to go. 31-24 in favor of the Broncos.
Yeah, what a game of momentum swings, though. I mean, again, Ballard for Northgate. I thought he was about to score a touchdown there and make it a 14-point lead. And then all the Los Lomas players ecstatic to get that ball back at the 2. Now at the 44. And they've still got a chance.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a one-score game right now with plenty of time to go. So really a toss-up here in that respect. But Dylan Thomas able to get that big run when they were deep in their own territory, able to pick up those 16 yards to keep that drive alive, because you had to figure if they had to punt deep in their own territory there, give Northgate good field position again, with the Broncos already having the lead, that could have been a very dangerous situation for the Knights.
Yeah, at least here, even if they don't get a first down, you would figure they would be able to get the ball deep in Northgate territory. Here we go.
From their own 44, 3rd down and 10. 4 wide receiver spread, everybody close to the formation. Fakes the handoff to Lagaya, under pressure. Thomas trying to get away, throws. Mercado can't make the catch, it was behind him. He turned to try to pick it up, and now we've got a flag flying in. Not exactly sure what the penalty was for. The closest defender was number 57, Tony Pucci, whose brother also played in the program. Here's take another look. Here's the throw. And then we're going to have the late hit coming in right at the end of the play. So Pucci, with a defenseless receiver, got him up in the back of the head, and that is going to be a huge play. Instead of 4th down in a possible punting situation, it's going to be 1st down and a bunch of yards picked up with the 15 yards for the personal foul.
Yeah, well, Northgate was able to get Thomas moving, and there's the throw. You thought, again, that should have been a catch, but just a mental mistake by Northgate there. Yeah. And a 1st down for the Knights, and we keep going in this game.
So the Knights get a big gift with the Pucci personal foul. This pushes the ball all the way to the Northgate 40-yard line, 1st and 10. 7:14 to go here in the ball game, and we are in for a fantastic finish here in the Battle of the Creek. Thomas, hands, Lagaya up the middle. He's got some room, and they are going to stop him, but he's going to get inside the 35, down to about the 34-yard line. So call it about a 6-yard gain, maybe 7. 2nd down and short upcoming for the Knights.
.650 and counting to go in this game. Los Lomas getting on the edge of field goal territory, maybe in it already at the 39-yard line. Oh, no, that's inside the 34.
From the 34, throws sideline, caught, juggled, but handled out there. Looks like that's Mercado on the catch. And Mercado's going to have it, and that is going to be enough for a first down. So Mercado able to make the play, but you see this ball, it kind of juggled just a little bit, but he's able to hold on. And then the tackle made, and now the line of scrimmage at the 24-yard line. So a 10-yard pickup on that play. First down and 10 here for the Knights. Thomas, Lagaya, over the right side, he's got some room, hit and bang down, but he gets inside the 20-yard line. So it looked like about a 6-7 yard pickup there for Lagaya, and that's going to bring up second down and short here for Las Lomas. And take a look at that crowd.
Yeah, Tony, I will tell you, whether it's volleyball or whether it's football, these Battle of the Creeks are close and they are tense.
Yeah, they are fun. Been a good couple of nights here doing sports. First volleyball and now football. And, boy, a fantastic finish last night. Looked like we're headed for another one here tonight. Thomas, hands, Lagaya right up the middle. He's going to have the first down. Flag flies here. And, though, that's coming from the back judge who's in that linebacker position. And they're going to call a face mask here. The question is who they're calling it on. Let's see which way they're going to mark it off. And it's going to be against Northgate.
There you go.
It looked like they're going to call number 53, Maxime Unum, A-N-U-M, defensive tackle and the center. They're going to call him for the face mask. Trying to make the tackle, you're reaching out and grabbing whatever you can, and he just grabbed the wrong thing.
Yeah, so Los Lomas up to the 6-yard line now, 5 minutes and counting. First and goal.
Boy, and a couple of big penalties for the Northgate defense on this drive, helping out the Knights. And now the Knights, first down and goal at the Northgate 6, looking for a tie. Here comes Mercado. They're going to hand it to him on the jet sweep. Mercado looking to cut it back, and he's going to be hit and stopped. And it looks like he got to about the 5-yard line, so maybe a yard gain there. It will be second down and goal.
Yeah, Los Lomas bringing everyone to the right side of their offensive front there. Dylan Thomas kind of faking to the left, and the ball does end up on the right. There's the tackle.
Boy, and he banged into his own that time. And sometimes that's what a defender needs to do. Stand up the offensive player who's trying to block you, and he forms the barrier. Second down and goal from the 5. Thomas barking out the signals. Here comes the blitz. There goes Lagaya. Touchdown, Las Lomas. And we are a point after from seeing this game tied up.
Absolutely incredible. 31-13 favor Northgate now. 31-30, a chance to be 31-31 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game.
And how about this? After the fumble, a 77-yard drive for Las Lomas, which could potentially tie the game, and a huge extra point upcoming from Sokol. Mercado to hold, snap, hold, spot, kick is good! And with 4:28, the Battle of the Creek is all tied, 31 apiece.
Yeah, so with 4:30, 4:28 specifically left in this game, how many possessions does each team get?
Well, at this point of the game, you can't expect to get maybe more than just one. And there is Lagaya. And how about the hole opened up by that offensive line? Just blowing out the Northgate defense there. Lagaya into the end zone for his second touchdown of the half. And just like that, we're all tied at 31.
Yeah, I think over the course of this game, the O-line and D-line for Los Lomas has done a lot better of a job at being advantageous towards their team. There with the touchdown run in the first half, giving up a lot of yards on the rush. We really haven't seen as much rushing from Northgate in this half. It's been a few pass plays and it's been a few fumbles. Here come the Knights. Kick it off.
But a 97-yard drive has tied up this game. This one's going to be returnable from the 5, 10, 15. Hit, stays on his feet, out across the 20, and pulling up about the 25-yard line. That was Bo Molinelli for Northgate with a pretty good return. So Northgate going to set up shop here, first down and 10 with 4:25 to go.
The crowd is getting as loud as it's been all night.
So can Northgate answer that 97-yard drive? Boy, that has got to hurt. When you had them backed up so far, even with the fumble, you still had them backed up so far with just a touchdown lead. But Northgate and a couple of defensive penalties for the Broncos really hurt them in that drive. Now let's see if their offense can answer. And a pitch outside. Hostler caught in the backfield, and down he goes. And for Los Lomas, that looked like it was number 92 making the tackle there, and it is. 92 making the play there for Los Lomas, and I am not seeing a 92 on our roster. So that's not good. Great play for 92. I just don't know who he is.
Well, you know what? Northgate sticking with Ballard here, even after the last few drives, 2 turnovers. You wonder why.
Ballard going to hand off. Here's Hostler trying to get out of the backfield. He will not. Oh, what a tackle there. And that play made by Cole Silva, number 2, to take him down. The defensive back coming up in run support and making a big play. Upcoming now, 3rd down for the Broncos.
Well, you know what, Tony? In the first half, maybe that would have been a touchdown for Hostler, but there, it's a loss. So again, Los Lomas doing a lot better job on both sides of the ball, and the scoreline reflects that.
So number 92 and Cole Silva coming up with big back-to-back plays for the Knights defense. Clock ticking down under the 3:13 mark and still rolling. And now 3rd down and 13 for Northgate from the 20. Blaine rolling out, throwing deep down the side, and Mercado breaks it up. Blaine trying to go deep down the far sideline. Looking for Jake Ibrahimi. And Mercado up there to break it up. So 3 plays in a row for that Knights defense. And now the Broncos are going to have to punt.
Tony, just feels like every time Ballard throws one of these balls into a one-on-one situation, you're just holding on. It could be a game-changing moment. And Los Lomas there gets the benefit.
It could be a long play for a touchdown. It could be an interception. The ball's staying in the air an awful long time. Northgate has to punt it away. Here's LeSueur. Boy, they need a good kick here. This one low. It's going to bounce. Going to bounce to the side a little bit. Takes a neutral roll there. And it's finally going to be killed at about the 43-yard line of the Los Lomas Knights. But they have the football. 2:50 to go in a tie game.
How about the battle of field position, though, as this game has evolved? Northgate dominating it in the first half, and Los Lomas here has done a much better job at controlling that. About their own 43. They'll definitely take that with 2:50 to go. A chance to march down the field and take the lead.
So Northgate here on defense, they've got 3 timeouts. You wonder when and if they're going to take them, how they're going to use that situation. But the first and foremost, they got to get a stop here because we know Sokol can really kick it. And right now, a field goal could be a winner here for Los Lomas, and they're not far out of Sokol's range now. Back to pass. Thomas throws deep down the sideline. Looking for the receiver. Mercado, he's got it. Mercado inside the 5. Touchdown, Los Lomas. 56 yards for the touchdown, and the Knights have taken the first lead of the ball game, and now maybe too much of a celebration as flags fly at the end of the play.
Yeah, well, obviously that could be a costly penalty, but for Los Lomas, I mean, just think about it. 31-13, a chance to go up 38-31. Incredible scenes here at Los Lomas High School.
Let's see, the officials are talking it over here. The touchdown is going to stand. The infraction occurred after the play was over. So no matter what this call is going to be, the Knights are going to have the lead.
Well, will this be enforced on the PAT? Doesn't
unsportsmanlike conduct against Los Lomas. The touchdown is good. Now I would think they would just mark it off on the point after here and move them back here a little bit. And this does become a very important point after here, as the Broncos still have plenty of time with 2:39 on the clock, and they do have 3 timeouts.
Yeah, long strike there for Los Lomas. I thought it was going to take more time for them to score, but apparently not. Looks like this PAT will stay in about the range that a normal PAT would be taken. Here we go.
Sokol, snap, spot, kick is good. And with 2:39 to go here in the Battle of the Creek, it's now Los Lomas 38 and the Broncos 31. The Broncos will get the football back. The bad news is they give up the big play for the touchdown. The good news is they have plenty of time and timeouts to try to tie up the game.
Well, I'm really interested to see who Northgate brings out at quarterback. Are they going to stick with Ballard again, even after all they had go against them offensively in this second half? Or will they go back to Boyd, who is their yards per game leader on passing offense?
Here is the touchdown. Boyd Mercado able to make the catch at the 20 and run it in. And that was Trevor Staff, number 13, that was right with him, but could not prevent the catch and could not make the tackle to prevent the touchdown. So the Los Lomas Knights, who at the end of that first half looked like they were dead, but they are very much alive and now have the lead, and it's Northgate now in comeback mode.
Yeah, I mean, I said it at the end of halftime. Northgate can score 20 half. Los Lomas certainly can. Or at least they would believe they certainly can, and they've done it. Yeah.
Sokol to kick it off. And the penalty was assessed here on the kickoff as that one came from the 25-yard line. So from the 15, 20, 25 coming here to the near side. Out across the 30, hit and bang down at about the 33. But a pretty good return and pretty good field position here for Northgate following that return.
So it doesn't feel like time is going to necessarily be the biggest problem here for Northgate. 2:30 to go, all of their timeouts. But Los Lomas has got to be thinking, after everything that's happened in this game, they only need one stop.
So even with as much time as we have and the 3 timeouts for Northgate, I just don't think they can give up this possession without getting the tying touchdown. I'm kind of thinking it's 4-down territory from here on out.
Well, it definitely makes it tougher for Los Lomas, too, on a play-by-play basis, because Northgate's going to be going 4 downs every set. But a long way to go for the Broncos to potentially tie this game.
So from their 33, first down and 10, handoff up the middle. Hostler looks like he's got some room here as he gets out across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Call it a 4-yard gain for Ben, and that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, the one thing that concerns me for the Knights is we've seen long plays by the Broncos tonight on whether it's a missed tackle or a one-on-one in coverage. But again, this is the first time the Knights have led, I think, all game. So they're going to feel a little bit more comfortable defensively, you would think. But let's see how that plays out.
Handoff, Hostler in the backfield trying to escape. And he's going to push the pile here up to about the 40-yard line, maybe just out across to the 41-yard line. That is going to bring up third down here. So about 4 more yards on that play. Let's see where they're going to finally mark this ball. And they are going to mark it out at about the 41-yard line. They need to get a little past the 43. So let's call it third down and a long 2 here for Northgate.
Yeah,
but I got to expect here, it's probably 2-down territory anyway.
Yeah.
Minute 20 and counting. When do you start using your timeouts if you're Ben Ballard and the Northgate Broncos? And now whistles blow. Boy, and they called timeout, but they let quite a bit of time run off the clock before they did.
Yeah, I
So
thought they
that was
would
an
have ran a
interesting
play
call
there. I thought they would have run a play there, especially considering that they, again, have probably 2 downs to get it done and only 3 to go. But 1:12 on the clock. Again, they've got to go all the way down the field, more than 50 yards, about 59 if I'm correct.
So Ben Ballard calling his first timeout. He's got 2 left. Minute and 12 showing on the clock. And you got the timeouts, and you know the running game has been going good. But if you don't get the big play, it's not really like you can churn out a long drive with the running plays to get the touchdown. But if you're Ben Ballard, you're thinking, look, we've proven we can get the big play from the running game.
Yeah, again, I just think it's been interesting that Ballard is still in this game. He's been good at moments. He's made mistakes at moments as well. Here you go.
And going up the middle, Ballard's got room. He's going to pick up the first down as he gets out across the 45-yard line. They're going to mark this one at the 46. So he's able to pick up 5 yards and the first down. They move the chains. Clock continues to run. This next play will not be snapped before we get under 1 minute.
Yeah, here's Boyd now. Ballard comes off the field, but he made his presence known right there getting the first down. Looks like he's going to set up as a receiver on the right side.
So Kavika under center now. Back to pass, short drop back. This one is blocked right back in his face. Incomplete. The pass batted down. Let's see who got their hand on that one for Las Lomas. That'll bring up second down. The good news is it does stop the clock with 44 seconds to go.
I believe Northgate has 2 timeouts left. Here's the replay. Getting the block there.
I think it was number 56. And I think that was Charlie Kruger who got his hand on that. Second down and 10 now. From the 46-yard line here for Northgate. Kavika back. Pocket breaks down. Now he throws. Over the middle, this ball is going to be incomplete. Looked like he was trying to get the ball to R.J. Anderson, number 2, but boy, that was a big crowd around him. Had a couple of receivers in the same area. Jack Berger was also there. He could have been the intended receiver.
Yeah, it looks like the way Northgate's going to close out this game is they're either going to do it from passing or they're not going to win this game. Boyd back at the center, playing quarterback. The better passing quarterback, you would presume, from the stats and what we've seen tonight. But Ballard all over the field.
Third down and 10 from the 46. Kavika back, drops back, under some pressure, throws. This ball is going to be incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Ballard inside the 45-yard line, but the pass too high, and that is going to bring up fourth down. Last chance for Northgate coming up.
Again, 30 seconds. Even if they were to get a first down here, it is not looking good.
It was 24-7, Northgate at halftime. Las Lomas came up with the first touchdown, but Northgate was able to answer that one in the third quarter. But Las Lomas has come all the way back to take the lead, and this could be the ball game right here. Fourth down and 10. Ballard throws, sideline, too high, it's incomplete. A turnover on downs, and the Knights are going to get it, and they can kneel on the football right now.
And with that, it looks like the Knights made their march back. And here are the fans, as you can see. They're excited. But I think after volleyball yesterday night, this close finish in favor of Las Lomas is pretty fitting as Northgate got the win in the Battle of the Creek volleyball style.
You know, it's victory formation right now for the Knights. They do not have to run another play. Boy, and they are snapping it backwards. And that will do it. Now they're going to call one timeout here, leaving 20 seconds to go. So Northgate showing a couple of timeouts, but boy, how disappointing for the Northgate Broncos having that big lead and answering that first touchdown of the third quarter after the Knights scored, and then seeing it all slip away. Told you about last week when they were playing Amir Amani and they had such a huge game. They scored 21 points in the fourth, 28 in the second half, and lost. And there's Doug Longero. So up next for Northgate, they will take on Acalanes, and then following that they'll play at home against Campo Lindo. Victory formation again here for the Knights, salting away the rest of this ball game. And another timeout call.
Yeah, Tony, ultimately I feel like this game was the story of two games, two halves really. The crowd not happy with the timeout. It is third down, but if they take a knee here, then the clock
will do it.
would expire.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much over.
So just a formality here is to take a knee. Kind of interesting the way they drop back in that shotgun formation for the kneel down. And you can see the Northgate contingent filing out of the ballpark here as the Los Lomas Knights look like they're going to finish this one off with a win. Upcoming for Los Lomas, they will be at Concord next week and then at College Park the following week.
Yeah, the Knights go 2-0 now in the Diablo Athletic League, so that's another storyline going the season, but 5-0 overall. We talked about it. They haven't been infallible, and they certainly didn't look that way in this game, but another win that they're able to edge out as this clock expires. What a battle of the Creek.
And that will do it. A final score, Los Lomas overcomes a big deficit to win. They win it by a final score of 38-31. And for Los Lomas, they go to 5-0, 2-0 in the DFL. And for Northgate, they drop to 0-4 and 0-2 in league. And what a game it was. Northgate with that huge first half. Another game where they put up so many points, so many yards, only to find themselves fall short. And for Los Lomas, the mistakes they made, some penalties that they had, and still able to find a way to win.
Well, you know what? From what we saw in the second half from Los Lomas, they look like they could be one of the best teams in the Diablo Athletic League. But they really got to pick up some of the mistakes, and they were able to do it in the second half. You do feel like Northgate gave away a few points for sure, but ultimately it was a great game. I think both teams had fun. Just Northgate's not going to be loving that they weren't able to come away with the win. 5-0 Los Lomas, 0-5 Northgate as we conclude this one.
Now, Lagaya had a big game, especially in the second half with a couple of touchdowns. Hostler had a huge game in a losing effort, unfortunately, but it was a great game in the Battle of the Creek, the 2023 version, as we see some highlights. And for all of us here at Walnut Creek TV, for Adam Tarr, I'm Anthony Schultz saying good night from Los Lomas.
What a game, huh? This is crazy.
56 yards for the touchdown, and the